Nice.
Welcome to the HazarD&D podcast, episode 3. Yeah, it's episode 3. Rico here. We got my boy McNuck, Stubborn Joe, the real life Peter Griffin, and our wonderful dungeon master Zach. We got full cosplay coming from the from Thorim himself, which is freaking awesome.
Emphasis on the
the wristbands too.
And the wristbands rolling hard today. Anybody here want to recap last episode to catch people up?
So if anyone wants to full recap, you'll start with inspiration. So just a heads up.
Do I still have my inspiration because I haven't used it yet?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, that only goes away when you use it.
I'm gonna let Joe recap so he can get a little inspo as Flamboyant.
Just gonna put him right on the spot. I love it. Let's go, Joe. Let's go, Joe.
My memory's horrible.
My memory's horrible too.
Yeah,
I remember what we did.
How long of a summary do I have to give here?
Just as brief. It could be as brief or as long as you want.
Just tell people what we did and where we currently are.
Exactly.
Shit.
Think of it like Flamboyant's having a drunken flashback, trying to remember that day in the bar.
Where were we going? I don't even remember the name of the town we were going to.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We were in Collingum.
Yeah,
Collingum. That's right.
All right.
Oh boy. I think we need some notes, gentlemen.
I took
all right.
The notes that I took were only
about yourself.
No, about the quests that we were on, and now I can't find it. So that's
now
fine.
Well,
now.
All right.
On the table for anyone who can do it.
Last time,
Beautiful.
Remember a little bit.
We ventured into Collingum after a long journey from our original starting point, which doesn't have any value. Go watch volumes 1 and 2 if you want to see it.
Volumes 1 and 2 on YouTube. Go.
We ventured out of Collingum and into the woods, where we passed various trials to be able to identify the tracks of what we were seeking. We know
some fucking rocks.
We knew from someone in the town that out in the woods, we might have some luck finding the source of the disease that's overtaken Collingum, killing everybody, making them social distance, and having to wear cloths over their faces or whatever. And we knew that if we tracked them through the woods, we might be able to identify the orcs that might be at the source of this plague. At the end of the last session, like all good cliffhangers and all good dungeon masters like to fuck with their parties, Zach basically told us that we found this orc encampment, listed off an absurd number of orcs, both inside and around the perimeter of this orc encampment. And our party is poised to do something, to figure out something for the orcs that may or may not stop a plague, or perhaps maybe we'll find a wizard and open that damn box we found. There's a lot of questions.
I forgot about that box.
I still got the lead box in my satchel.
That's all I want to do is open that box.
You left out the part with the fucking stuttering barkeep.
Oh yeah, no, I left that out purposefully. Unfortunately, the gentleman at the tavern is no longer with us. He died of natural causes last night.
Dang!
And his
fucking wish.
No, Danny Glover, no!
He did look like Danny Glover. That's all we know.
I rolled an 18 to send his family flowers.
Well, you don't have enough gold to send them flowers, so there you go. It's the fault that counts.
Can I use my healing hands to bring him back to life?
Unknown bartender name is doing mighty fine.
We didn't know his name, but we knew he was getting too old for this shit.
So, for all of you naysayers out there, he's still alive. He's still kicking it around, and you will see him again.
Fuck, I quit.
You will see him again because you guys had
You're gonna have to bring the fucking
instigated him so much.
I better see him again, man. I need some turkey legs, man.
If that character comes back,
I don't want to hear no more about the turkey legs.
Hey, listen.
Before we get started, I have one actual
Connor's always hungry, man. Connor's always hungry.
One actual question.
I hope you salted them before we left.
One actual question
what's your
before we
actual
get started. What the hell happened to Rory, and why can't I remember?
Rory was left behind to help the Duke out.
Yeah, he's still talking to
Oh,
Duke. We met
okay.
the moment he was like left to talk to
With
him.
the butler that unfortunately did not want to come with us.
He's keeping an eye on the fact that we're going back for that rug.
Yeah.
Oh, that rug is mine. I
It's
have the only note. The
being
only note
pressured.
that I have
Christ.
is that the rug really did tie the room together.
It really
Absolutely.
ties the room together.
I hope nobody pees on it though. That would really be.
Get on my fucking rug.
They're making us a
Boy.
fresh one. Don't worry.
Looks
we'll
at
be good.
Turbidus.
Turbidus.
Alright.
Well, he's making us a new rug, which is kind of
Full
nice.
of breadcrumbs.
Turbidus is just carefully coating the rug with breadcrumbs, so he makes sure he always has something to go back to in his most dire need. All right, Chris, well done. You can take another point of inspiration because I allowed it to back. So just take note that you have that. So
The only thing that inspires me is kicking the shit out of a health.
So, lads, where this begins for you guys today is crossing over the hill of a Orc Encampment, which you see is currently in direct view of you. It's sort of night is beginning to settle in. At least the evening is settling in for you guys. And as you crest over the hill and look down, you see that this Orc Encampment is just full currently of orcs. You see that there are 4 separate watchtowers located around the corners of this encampment. In the center is a single stone tower with perhaps another watchtower within. In the back, you see a large single-story stone sort of, how would I put it? Hut, maybe, is a good way to describe it. It's a stone building in the back that just looks like there's a large double-door entrance that leads somewhere, either above, below, or inside. As well as inside the camp, you see that there are 3 sort of long tents located on the left side of this encampment. As well as in the back, there is a stable full of horses, maybe around 20 plus horses, all gathered up in this stable. And in the back right corner of this the encampment, right around the same area, just a little southeast of this stone building, looks like a wooden building that is very poorly put together. Can't quite tell any details beyond what just the general sort of description of the buildings look like, but the exterior of this encampment is large wooden spikes. Looks to be trees that were cut up and sharpened at the top to hopefully not allow anyone to get in, only through the front gate. But the hill currently, that the sort of vantage point you guys have right now is it's about like 120 feet away in terms of like running down the hill and getting up to the front entrance, maybe a little bit farther. As well as you currently have a height advantage over them, so they can't exactly see you from your current position. But as the sun is setting in, and it is starting to slowly get darker out, what would you guys like to do?
So it's slowly getting darker out.
Ricochet frozen to everybody.
The world is yours, sir.
It would be nice if we had a hobgoblin.
Can we look for any weaknesses in the fence?
Does it work that way?
Is there anything that we can see?
I don't know.
I looked at Thorim. Thorim, what you want to do, man?
Did we just lose Ricochet? Oh, there we go.
He's back.
There you go. Sorry.
I say we fashion a catapult of sorts and get rid of the dwarf over as a distraction. I think she could hold her own.
Well,
Just
I can hold
spitball
anything.
in here.
Just fashion the dwarf and throw her over.
How high is the wall?
From what you could maybe tell, maybe like 60 feet tall.
60 feet.
60
In the
feet tall.
in the current twilight, can we discern any weaknesses or like points of the wall of interest?
From this particular distance, no, but you could definitely run up to the wall and get a closer inspection if you'd like to. You would have to try, you'd have to try and avoid the vision of the current,
If only I was.
people on watch.
Is the surrounding area like slashed and burned, or are we talking like pretty wooded up till the point of the wall?
The surrounding area actually, it looks to be a lot of cut down trees. Based on what you would assume, it's probably how this encampment was put together. Is that it's pretty much just a logged, was a forest. It's just logged, like completely cut down.
So Mask of the Wild might help me out because theoretically I could attempt to hide even lightly obscured in natural settings.
Mask of the Wild. Let me just check real quick.
Page 24.
Page 24.
Page 24. I don't got time to pull out
what
my book. Mask of the Wild here. Let's see.
What I would attempt to do, just to add some color while you look for it, is sort of slide close enough to the wall where I can, at the very least, identify if they did a crappy job in any particular part. Maybe where a smaller Turbidus or Flamboyant sized person might be able to Trojan horse their way in of sorts.
Okay. Okay. So first, go ahead and if you want to try and descend the hill, because you can attempt to hide when you're only lightly obscured. I'll say you could take advantage on the stealth checks. So what we'll do then is, if you would like to, you can go down and attempt to investigate the wall further.
Well, hold on. Are there any enemies that we can see, like on the top of those towers?
Yes.
Or?
Yep. So as I said, the sort of perimeter of the encampment goes. There are 4 separate outposts on each corner of the encampment. And the square encampment is an outpost where you see an orc wielding some sort of ranged weapon. You can't quite tell from this distance.
So you said orc. So it's only one orc then?
One orc per outpost. There's 4 total.
Are there outposts outside the encampment or inside the encampment?
Inside, but they're basically, the outposts are built at the top of this encampment.
Okay, gotcha.
Interesting.
Make a perception check for me, Connor.
There were 16 visible orcs last week.
Perception and 18.
18. From what you can actually tell now, is getting a closer look and sort of evaluating as best as you can. You notice that you see one of the orcs on the closest, sort of like the front left corner of the encampment, is sort of pacing back and forth. And you notice as he starts pacing sort of east from where you're looking, so he's walking to the right side of the encampment now. You see him actually walk out of the outpost. And he's maintained on the same height level. And as you see him sort of walk by, you see him disappear sort of beyond where the wall is still like piercing up. You can still manage to see his head though.
Mm-hmm.
And after like sort of looking around, you notice that you see a second head popped up that's like right next to him. So you would assume that there's sort of like some sort of connecting bridge across where there's maybe a couple more that are held up there.
Dak, I was hoping he'd be by himself, man. I was going to try to see if I can aim at him.
Hey, Connor, question.
Yeah.
You're probably less of a immediately obvious threat. Maybe before we go guns blazing, to get a better sense of what's going on behind the wall, do you have anything interesting that you could like approach with that, like to trade or be like, hey, I'm a traveler, where's the town at? Maybe talk to the guards at the gate. Because obviously, like if I walk up, they're gonna stab me.
Right.
And I'm
trade
sure
fists.
Flamboyant. I just don't want Rune to get slapped. Is where I'm going with this.
Jesus Christ!
And they're bigger. They're bigger than
one
halflings,
time.
so it's gonna hurt.
It was one time,
That's all it takes.
and he had
all it
stone
takes.
hands.
Did you ever see Little Giants?
All I want is my name up on the water tower. With you.
You know what? That's a good idea. Can I go up and like by myself?
Put your name on
act
the
like
water
a. No, I.
What's your charisma? You got a lot of diplomacy over there.
Shit.
Oh man.
I'm -1. Don't send me in.
Like, yeah, right. That's what it is.
Is it really?
Shit.
Well,
I say go for it. Fuck it.
Oh,
Next you're gonna be punching a barkeep in the face with me.
Look, if this
Oh,
goes to if this hits the fan and we have to re-roll some new characters, so be it.
Oh no! Come on. Oh, I go to
Oh,
love
boy.
Connor.
Oh boy.
No, listen, don't worry. As long as you can get back to me with like 1 health, me and Thorim and I we can give you 10. We can give you 10 health. We can give you 5
God.
each. You're fine.
Wait,
unless,
Thorim,
Wait, how about this?
what's
How
your
about
perspective?
hold on, wait.
wait, I got a better idea.
Go ahead.
How
Give me an
about-
idea. You could be like a Trojan horse where you have me in chains or something like that.
I was
depending,
just
like, on
thinking
the-
that. That's
Okay.
perfect. Yeah, why don't one of us get chained up and go with you to the gate, and you got to say that you need some help. You just battled him, and you need some help, and then keep
Oh, I
the chains
love
loose.
that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
maybe you're wearing flamboyant like a hat, like you killed flamboyant, and then now you're wearing a dwarf hat.
Just shove him in your pocket. He's tiny,
I'm
or
5
she's
feet
tiny.
tall.
Just
Five feet tall.
spitballing here. I'm just spitballing here.
She's tiny enough. Just pick her up, put her in your
Wow.
satchel, and just take
Joe's
her in.
face got me
5 feet
cracking
tall.
up, man.
5 feet tall.
Wow. Okay.
5
A
feet
lot to
tall.
take in there. All right, what do we got to roll for that one?
Well.
How much to roll flamboyant into my pocket?
Well.
roll,
That
roll
depends on
for-
resistance or not.
Give me a
Do I
hat.
need-
Give me a
Do I
hat
need
check.
to roll to take a dump on his head?
That'd be natural.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Free flowing.
No, my thing is who has the biggest strength here?
Mine is 19. I think it's me.
I'm not.
You
I'm the
might-
weakest.
So
the
for
pl-
like
Is the
for
plus
like-
4
yeah.
included in
my
the
strength,
19?
my strength is 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
The proficiency bonus is included in that. So all the numbers are already added up for you.
well, then so I'm gonna say why can I take you for insurance since you have the biggest strength? You know what I mean? Out of all of us, yeah, out of all of us.
You
Well,
would
you know, if the dwarf was the prisoner, then they would probably be more keen to let you in because they hate dwarves.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, good point.
Oh, there you go.
Good point.
you don't speak, right?
In general, let's see.
Which state?
Rob, make a history check for me.
History?
Yeah, history.
5.
5.
Rob's history.
From what
I have
you
a mad
could-
good I have a mad good history. Should I try to recall some of this stuff?
just Rob, because he's the one who's piecing this together. I would say that based on like your just sort of general knowledge of the world, you'd have a rough understanding that you might not know. You're not entirely sure who orcs are friends or enemies with, really, because they've been shoved to the corners of the world for as long as Ethos has been around for the most part. That you're kind of it's kind of, you don't know, at least from your general knowledge, who orcs might be friends or foe with. They seem primitive, so who knows? It's kind of like walking up to a bear and being like, "Hey there, I got a prisoner for you." So part of you thinks, well, maybe they'd be receptive of this food, and then part of you also thinks, will they actually follow along with this? I don't know.
Do orcs have? Do we know what their like number one hated or like rival race is? Like,
Yeah, because I mean, I can go up there and be like, "Yo, get this guy." I'm like, okay.
All right, guys,
Um,
look. I know a lot about orcs. I'm Raytheon in this moment. I know a lot about orcs because growing up on the mean forest floors of Drywood, we ran into an orc or two, and from what I remember, they're stinky as hell. But the one thing they didn't like was us, and they definitely tried to eat us a lot. I think they're driven by hunger. So I don't think we're gonna sell them on trading off for a rug or anything like that. But
Doesn't somebody have deer meat?
All right,
Oh, yeah,
Raytheon, make a history check for me.
there it is.
18.
I got a plan.
18. Well,
18 plus 2, so 20. Dirty 20.
20.
We'll
There's a
give him
couple
the-
things you would know based off that check. One is that orcs don't directly have a a hated like a hated sort of
Enemy?
enemy or race or anything. Also, orcs did not never were in. Well, orcs were in. They are in Drywood. There was a sort of
Told you.
merging of way back prior to the Purple Dawn, prior to Ragnarok. In that age, there was a meeting with the former rabbi of Drywood, Raylon Stormraven, and a queen of the desert, Alor Mantel, who pronounced herself to be the Queen of Dragons. They had an agreement where he would allow some of her people to move into Drywood and begin to migrate and acclimate to the area in one of the sort of worn down areas of Drywood that had been sort of plagued for a while and have been abandoned for a long time, and the orcs were allowed to take refuge there. But as far as the orcs in Drywood were concerned, they were never hostile. If anything, they were friendly. And at first, there was some hostility between the wood elves and the orcs. However, after some time, after acclimation of them realizing that they're actually just normal people like the rest of them at the end of the day, they grew to sort of liking them, and they actually sort of befriended each other. As far as the typical orc from the desert, you're not entirely sure what they're motivated by, or what exactly would cause them to do something along these lines. Each orc is sort of, from what your basic understanding would be, they're all motivated in their own unique ways. Some are just trying to survive, others are just trying to slaughter, because that's their sort of like primal instinct to do so.
Do I have any orc homies from back in the day?
From your particular sector, you might have I wouldn't say you had any friends, but you've definitely come across some orcs in Drywood occasionally. Who
enough to talk like I totally know these guys.
You could certainly try.
I was gonna say you take Flamboyant, man, and see if that works out.
I mean, if they kill Flamboyant, I mean, it's not bad.
Here's a question.
I like the idea of how many entrants? There's only one entrance, right?
One entrance. Yeah. Question.
What color are the orcs?
What's that? Good?
They're like a sort of palish green.
Damn. I was gonna say
why?
Because my character's jet black. I don't know what color orcs were. So if I went in and they were and I said "Hey, I'm outcast too," then got that. But no, palish green.
All right, let's go back. Do we like the hobgoblin with prisoners?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's give that a whirl. Who's going to be the prisoner? Is it going to be? Is it going to be a paladin?
All right, so
I don't know if it's got to be one. Do we have enough chains for two?
Do you guys have manacles?
Hold on.
Hold on. I have rope in my bag. In my equipment bag, I
got some rope. Let's do this.
I have manacles. I have one. I have one manacle in my thing.
Okay, so you have one pair.
I have one pair of manacles, and I also have 50 feet of rope.
Thorim, do you have manacles? Because you're a paladin too, right?
Mr. Shadowsbane. You're muted. I think.
I'm trying to see where would I find that?
Go to equipment.
What am I looking for?
Manacles.
Not a monocle. Different.
Or do you just want to play it safe and just do rope? You know what I mean?
No, I do have rope.
All right, so I have one set of manacles. So we could either bring one person in manacles, or we can bring two people with rope. What is a goblin more likely to have? No, you're not a goblin. You're a goblin, right?
Hobgoblin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is a hobgoblin more likely to have? Manacles or rope on them?
Rope. I would think.
It'd be kind of hard to tell. Maybe based off their primitive nature, you could assume rope.
Mm-hmm.
Those manacles are typically made of either leather and steel. But
I have a logistics question.
Go for it.
In terms of weapons that I could have equipped, is It basically lets me select a lot of them, but I imagine I could really only hold what I could physically hold, right?
I think it has you equip it just so if you wanted to swap it out in combat, you could do so.
Okay.
I mean, like depending on what you're using, probably only gonna be using like one weapon at a time.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can dual wield if you have two weapons that have the light feature to them. But other than that, typically you're only using
Okay.
one at a time.
It does say two-handed. So like the
Yeah.
crossbow and the short bow, I'd pick which one I want.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
I got
you can wield two hand crossbows, but you can't use two light crossbows because those are bigger than the hand crossbow, obviously. So
Noted. Thank you, sir.
All right. I throw my manacles to Connor, and I tell him pick who you want to take with you. I give you the option, Connor.
Now see, I can put Thorim in the manacles, right? But now here's the thing: once I bring him to the orcs, it's like, okay, what's the purpose? I mean, it's not like it's like a bounty on them. I don't think they,
No, I would say that you're more than anything that you've been like. We'll kind of rough you up a little bit, or pretend to rough you up a little bit, and just come up and be like, "I just got into this crazy battle. I'm just beat. Please, can I just rest here for the night until until I get some rest, until get some food, so I can bring this guy."
It could be a good idea because if we stay overnight, you can get the prison keys and let me out, and we can strike by night.
Yeah.
You could be,
so
you could be
things.
sneaky.
Yeah.
And I'll go in the woods and pick berries for later.
Yeah, because it'll go great with the 2 haunches of meat that McNuck's got before.
Yeah. Because we don't need you stepping on sticks and starting a whole
Connor stole away with some food.
No,
so,
all right. Here's the plan. We're gonna get Connor and Thorim inside. All right, and then myself, the dwarf, and the druid are going.
Are you drawing this in the dirt for us right now?
I am. Yeah, I'm drawing in the dirt, and then we're gonna cause a distraction outside.
Okay.
And then while we're causing a distraction, Connor's gonna take the cuffs off of Thorim. And
Hey,
then
logistical question, Rune. Why cause a distraction when you could just get into the encampment with the prisoners? I think that's the goal.
What do you mean? Like, I don't think we have enough. You think one goblin's gonna take down 2 paladins?
No. I think one hobgoblin's gonna Trojan horse his way into this encampment.
Yeah, but we have to give him a chance to go get the keys and to be able to unlock everything.
I almost want to see like how far the hobgoblin can get into the encampment.
Okay, fine. Backup plan is
It'll be even more convincing if I would say if I bring Thorim and Flamboyant, and say like, hey, it's 2 for the price of 1, 2 prisoners, hey, listen.
See how much gold and Connor, if you can get a good deal on these fucks, sell them.
Right?
one thing to consider
off of this, and if you have trouble trying to get through the gate, you still have those 2 haunches of meat, so you can bribe the guards.
True.
With turkey legs.
I do. Nah, man, not my turkey legs, man.
Think of all the turkey legs you can get with the money we're going to steal from these idiots.
For the greater good.
Oh man, we can cook up some more when I get back. All right, so
damn bird if you want.
Have you ever tried an orc leg?
You know what? I'll try anything for once.
Just keep in mind, you saw at least 16 in there.
All right.
16.
Just keep that in mind, based on your strategy.
We're gonna have to.
And there's the chief, so at least 17.
Yeah, man. That's
Maybe we could empty some of them into the woods first.
Can we call it a distraction?
I have an idea.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to cause a distraction, but no.
I have an idea.
No, Rico, I'm with you, Rico. I'm with you. Yeah.
Your idea was stupid. This new idea that's good is to cause a distraction.
You fucking guy. The first distraction is throwing the orc at the wall. Not the orc, throwing the dwarf at the wall.
First plan. Orc.
What if the distraction is happening in concurrency? Hey, boys, I'm going to go into character again. What if you guys go to the gate, you guys try to get in, get the keys going. While you're doing that, I'll post up in the woods. I'll do one of my famous scary ass animal noises. And we'll have Flamboyant scream like the little lady she is. The orcs will be like, cheap meat, let's do this. And they'll run into the woods and try to help / eat this person.
This is pretty much Last
Alright.
of Us with Horizon Zero
And then
Dawn.
what? And then I guess what myself and
I think Flamboyant and I could fight off whatever comes at us. You
because
guys will have.
We can pick them up
less
one by
people.
one. Yeah.
all right.
I'm gonna do better in the woods, and I'm gonna do better at a distance. So I'm gonna stay in the woods and try to get some to come to me.
Okay, I'll pick.
And I would prefer if my buddy Flamboyant hangs with me.
All right, and I guess I'll slowly hang back and just kind of see what happens. I'll wait for somebody.
Well, here's the thing. Can I go on the other side? If you're going to do that, Raytheon on one side of the encampment, let me sneak around to the other side and do the same thing and pick off one by one, you know?
Once they start getting picked off, though, cover's blown.
Yeah, true.
We're also talking really loudly, not too far outside in the woods. They might have heard us by now.
And I just drew several plans into the dirt. So.
I casually walk over and just kind of kick dirt over the plans.
I fought it, so the smell was going over the wall.
Yeah, we'll stick together. And,
all right, let's go.
I don't know.
All right, first part of the plan. Let's get the hobgoblin and Thorim into the encampment. Let's go. Let's roll it up.
Is there any? Can
I have another idea.
Can I observe their whatever you call it, fortress of solitude, to try and perceive if they are like aggressive in any way before we start murdering all?
It's called an orctress, but I'll
make a. You're trying to see if they're aggressive.
Yes, like if there's any signs that show of like any aggression.
Make an insight check.
Insight check. A 18.
18. From what you can tell, they don't really look aggressive right now based on their body language. Their weapons for the most part are pretty relaxed. They're not keeping too keen of an eye on their watch for the most part. On the corner outpost, you see the orcs up there are wandering off rather easily and sort of just conversing with another orc on the wall steadily. But from what you can tell, they don't quite seem aggressive at the moment.
So we don't have to go in and murder them all right off the bat.
No.
I do need 8 heads though, so gonna have to kill them.
How diplomatic do you think these orcs might be? Like, do you think if me and Flamboyant were fighting in front of this base, that a couple of them would come out and try to stop it?
You could certainly try.
I'm talking to the crew, not to Zach.
I'm just saying too. You can certainly try.
All right, who are our most charismatic people?
I got.
I have a 17. I have 17 in charisma.
8.
So the
not
2
bad.
paladins.
Probably
16.
the 2 paladins. Yeah.
So why
Why
don't?
don't you go give him a citation, Mike?
All right. So
Why
how
don't you go
about
give him
this?
Citation.
What if we go with the shackled plan, and it's both paladins take me and shackles because I have fucking no charisma. Both paladins take me and shackles and try to talk to them with your charisma into thinking I'm like a prisoner to give to them.
What if we just why don't the black dwarf and the hobgoblin just go try to like actually give a go at making regular friends?
Well, I could be. I mean, what if they like me and they try to kill the paladins?
I think that's actually a better plan, only because if they can, then they can find out information about the plague. They can find out information about why they're attacking that village. Maybe the villagers are the reason why they're attacking. So maybe we can find out more information from these orcs before we make a decision to kill them all.
I think
Finally, Mr. Shadowsbane shows up. How are you?
You guys are missing the point of the fact that both of us have -1 charisma. We're gonna be like, so what's it like? And they go, oh, it's like this. We're killing you now.
I think give it a go.
I got +5. I got +5 persuasion. So let's. I'm willing to do anything.
I vote. Yeah. I still vote send Hobgoblin by self to.
Or it could just be the 2 paladins because we're supposed to be warriors of justice. So they wouldn't expect us to just attack them, all conniving way. It's not like we're rogues or something like that. Like we can't trust these guys.
Correct.
These guys are supposed to be lawful good. Like they're supposed to do the right thing. So maybe they would believe us more.
All right, I'm
All
fine
right,
with that.
just to confuse them, I want to. Never mind. Just
I
do
still want the
something.
haunches of
Somebody
meat
do
from
something.
Conor, though.
Let's go. All right, fine. Me and Thorim are going up. Let's do it.
Can I get the 2 haunches of meat from Conor, though, just in case it goes awry and we have to bribe these guys?
The turkey
With-
legs.
With the condition that if they don't take them, I'll give them back to him.
All right, so that's a plan.
Yeah,
all
I'll
right,
give it to you. Yeah, go ahead, take them.
Okay.
All right,
Take
so
it.
since I'm like the
That's a
tanky
good one.
person, I'll be the one that is in the shackles, and
Man,
then the
Mom.
2 paladins are taking me.
My
All right,
meat,
fine.
man.
Two
And then-
paladins and a
yeah.
dwarf.
And then Connor will be hiding in a bush nearby to beat the shit out of somebody who tries to take his meat haunches.
My meat, man. My meat.
All right, let's do it. All right,
So,
let's do it. Let's
to
roll up.
clarify, just clarify. The 2 paladins are bringing the chained up dwarf to the front of this encampment.
Wait,
to-
why do we have prisoner?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the purpose? You know,
Now,
is it a bounty?
with the because if we're gonna try to have a legitimate conversation with them, now we're starting off with a lie, saying that we have one of our companions as a prisoner.
What if you
It would
say?
probably be
I'll
better
do
if
it.
we had.
Say that you got lost.
What if
on
you
your way
say
to Kalinga.
what if you say you caught me beating the crap out of an orc?
Or we could say we caught this guy creeping around. The 2 paladins were walking by. We
Girl.
saw this guy, this girl, creeping around. We wanted to bring him to your attention.
Misgender me.
Did you just assume my gender?
Yeah.
Roll.
Well, give
Can
me
I,
my
can I
meat
just
back
tell
then,
everybody?
man.
Yo, guys, this sounds like a shit plan. I'm just saying.
Well, we got to do something at this point.
I think let's just see how they react to a single volley of 1 arrow to the center of the base.
Oh God! And you thought that was a
All right, we'll go hide in the forest while you just shoot an arrow.
All right, come on. No, that's it. All right, I grab Thorim by the arm, and I say, "Come on, it's me and you. Let's go." And we just run up.
Okay.
Me and Thorim are going up there. We're gonna try to be diplomatic on here. We're
2
local
guys,
group.
huh?
We want to understand. You guys stay back. You guys are bickering about your plans, and the 2 paladins decide to take initiative. Let's go.
Okay. So the 2 of you
Get killed.
to march ahead. And as you guys are sort of descending down the hill at this point, you notice that as you guys are like just briskly walking towards this encampment, as you guys are approaching and night is really beginning to settle in now, you notice some movement up on top of the wall and some movement up on skirting around. And as you guys are sort of like at this point, probably like 60 feet away from the wall as you're approaching, you hear a yell from the wall. Hey, what are you doing?
All right, so
Rune, I'm going to let you do the talking because I want to be one of those people that only has something funny or profound to say and nothing in between.
all right, so I say, hello there. My paladin friend and I decided that we wanted to come out here to see if we could provide some assistance. We know that there have been orcs that have been attacking the city, and we wanted to know if there was any particular reason why, or if we could provide any help to you.
Assistance. You see silence. You hear silence for a few moments, and you hear.
Should have
And-
brought the guy who spoke orc.
You eventually hear these like large wooden gates in the front as you guys are standing still there. These gates slowly begin to open up, and you see about 5 orcs walk outside with long swords in their hand. As they start to walk over to you, one of them approaches. What do you want with us?
We want to know why you keep attacking the town.
Is that any of your concern at this point?
Well, we've been tasked to cure the area of the plague that's been around here. And we
You're
wanna
saying
know...
we're a plague now, is that so?
No. Now you're putting words in my mouth. What I'm saying is that there's a plague, and it's causing people to do drastic things. and I want to know.
I'm.
Would
I'm
you
up on
shut
the
up?
hill
You're out of the
looking at
way. Shut the fuck up. You're out of. You can't hear shit right now.
You took a breath,
shut
and I
your
looked at.
mouth.
I
You're
looked
nowhere
at. I
near
looked
me.
at Inducted and I said, "It's going terrible down there."
So, so during these times, people it's causing dramatic and drastic measures for people to take. So I want to know if there's anything that we can assist you with to help you during these times.
Make a persuasion check.
Nat 20,
And
Nat 20.
We got a 19.
Okay.
They
Which-
forgot
which-
the box of
which-
masks.
Which sucks because I have a +5 too.
He kind of looks around at the rest of them. They all look at each other. Help us with what? We need no help.
Why do you keep going? What are you looking for in the city?
None of your concern, human.
Perhaps, yeah, it seems that you haven't been having any luck getting what you need. Perhaps I've been able to get in and out of the city relatively untouched, unnoticed. Perhaps I can help you in acquiring whatever you're looking for.
Kind of looks at you, raises an eyebrow, and looks at you. You're saying you're willing to help an orc?
Depending on what you're looking for, yes.
And what are you willing to bring us?
I'm willing to bring you whatever you're looking for. The question is, what are you looking for? And if I bring you what you're looking for, will you stop the raiding?
Well, we have something in mind. But are you up to the task is a question that leaves to be answered.
I look over to Thorim and I try to gauge, how he's feeling on the situation. I wait for either his nod or as a yes or a no, just to gauge what he's thinking. So Thorim gives the nod yes. I look over to the orc and I say, "My friend and I would be willing to help you." my friend and I would be willing to help you. We only ask for one thing in return.
And what's that?
Your help in figuring out what is causing this plague that's affecting the region.
Plague ain't my fucking problem. If you want to help us, you get us into that village. Nice and comfy houses, food, mead, not plucking chickens and living on tree beds every night. Perhaps you help us with that.
So is that why you're trying to get into town? You're just tired of living in this encampment?
We're trying to survive out here. Do you know what it takes to live out here?
I actually
Cut
do.
down trees everywhere around here on this wasteland.
I actually do. I have a +5 in survival. Can I say something very survival-like that makes him understand that I know what he's talking about?
What do you say?
I don't know. I really don't know anything about survival. Anybody here?
Give me your best Bear Grylls. Give me your best Bear Grylls.
I just rolled my survival thing and I got a 23. So whatever I'm saying is.
Look, I just peed in this cup and drank it. That's survival.
Yeah,
Thorim
I too know how to kill and gut snakes and pee in them.
Whatever. It depends what you say.
Okay.
Oh man.
A roll doesn't mean anything if you don't say anything.
Wait, time out. He asked me whether or not I know what it's like to cut down trees, right?
Say it in Rune's voice for the love of God.
You know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to survive out here at this point.
That's not true. When I was younger, my father and parents were killed in front of me, and I survived by myself for months until I was again found by another family. My family was taken from me, and I survived alone. I too lived in the forest by myself and learned to strive and thrive and survive. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I did it as a young man. You can do it as an orc.
And you know the pain of going to bed cold every night. And you should know. And you should want to help us get into that village. It's in your best interest then, survivor boy.
Okay, so we agree to help you at the very least. We'll agree to help you. We might need a couple of other people to recruit. I'll be back in a half hour.
If you want to help, we need that village. Plain and simple.
You got
Every
it.
single person in there must be gone.
I don't know what's going on down there, but it don't fucking look good.
Every single person must be gone.
I
What do you
want that.
expect me to, what do you expect me to do with them?
I expect you to put that Duke's head on a spike. That's what I expect.
Can I use persuasion to try to drag out a little more about what his problem with the Duke is?
What do you say?
It seems to me
What's your
that your problem isn't with the town; it's with the Duke. What's what has he done to you personally?
If his head is on a spike, then the morale of his people will be lost. And if that's the case, we go in, we take over the village, and now we have a new home. So, not so much of the Duke, but more so of a quick way to get him out.
All right, let me go regroup, and I'll come back.
Perhaps I could sweeten the deal for you.
I'm listening.
You look like a fella who needs something to keep himself alive out here.
Yeah.
Survivor boy. Maybe I have a sword I can give you. You give us a way into that village. I hope you as well.
Agreed. I'm gonna go back. I'll assemble a crew. I'll meet you back here in a half hour. Get your strongest men.
Peace.
Get your strongest orcs together, and we're gonna and we'll group with my men, and we'll take it
You
from
see,
there.
he walks back inside the encampment and the gates close. You guys ascend up the hill and rejoin your group.
That entire time, I was hoping somebody would try to sneak in while we had their attention, but nobody wanted to do anything.
Oh, man.
Nobody
Hey,
did anything.
Chris tried to say something, and you shut him the fuck up.
He was saying stupid shit. He was saying
No, but
sarcastic shit.
I had ideas, but whatever. Hey, Rune, how did that go? Because that looked terrible.
All right, guys, this is what we're doing. Forget the plan. We're helping these orcs take over the town, and in return, we're just gonna go take the rug. Get the fuck out of here.
Look, I'm in any plan that involves that rug, so you got my attention.
I'm getting that rug, and I'm going home.
My character flaw, though, is to always do the right thing. Which
Dial it back. Dial it back a quick sec, Rune. So you got nothing accomplished except
No.
for aligning us with the orcs?
Nope, that's not true. That's not true. What I got was I got a way to get them out of their encampment willingly and to not think that they're walking into a death trap.
I'm impressed you just thought of that.
No.
So
that's
what
the
we
whole,
shouldn't
the whole
do-
idea.
what we should do.
Seen the letter
and-
after the fact.
So wait, is there anybody in the town that's able to fight? Because didn't they lose like a lot of people?
Yep.
Yeah, no,
I
basically,
have an
if-
idea.
I don't think they
if
have.
they get
maybe
in,
we
they're
should get
dead.
Danny Glover to help us fight.
Hey, boys. Boys.
Talk to death,
Boys,
yo.
I mean, if Mel
Look,
Gibson's there,
look.
you know, you got a teammate, you got a team that can get it done.
Oh, all right.
Boys.
He's here. Hey, wait.
Call me in the battle.
Fuck that Cajun bastard.
Trust you boys, getting the job done.
All right. So
I
we
got some
have.
orc blood to spill.
So your new plan is to get all those orc folks out of the keep and lure them into a death trap.
Basically, yeah. So they know. So they just know that it's me and Thorim. So they think they have two paladins on their side. So we said we'd be back in a half hour, and we're going to lead them and their at the very least we're going to be grabbing 5 of them and possibly more of their strongest men, and we're going to be marching towards the city to get in. So at that point, if whoever's
Now wait,
left behind,
before we march towards the city. So they're looking for a way into the city.
Right.
An old trick I learned back in the hood with the boys is never lead them to your house. You could lead them
yeah.
instead. You could lead them instead to what they think is a back door to your house, which is actually a dead end trap. Of
So we're
which we
setting
can
booty
figure out
traps?
the nuance. Yes, we have a half an hour to set to figure out
And
something
we can
dangerous
cause
and
unrest in
prepare.
the camp because while we're marching with them, we can like persuade them that each other are like doing shit to each other. So this way, there's unrest.
I like
amongst
it.
the-
I like it.
and we can make them
If we
kill each
leave-
other,
Home Alone.
and then we'll just
If we
pick
leave
off
them,
the
yeah,
losers,
yeah.
the winners.
So here's what we do. That's a great idea, Thorim. I'm gonna build off that idea. While some of the party, so they don't know that half of us exist, right? So Rico,
No, they just know that it's the two of us.
So the two of you go back with maybe one more person, and then the rest of us go into the encampment. They might leave a person or two behind. We'll take care of those motherfuckers. I'll let Flamboyant go at it. But what we'll do is we'll start to first of all, maybe we'll steal some stuff. We'll talk about that later. But maybe we make it look like they were stealing from each other, or we just light the whole damn place on fire. We do something to the encampment while they're gone.
I think it all depends on how many actually leave the encampment and come with us. So there were 5 of them that came out with swords, which seemed to be probably their 5 strongest at the time. If we saw 16 to begin with, that means that there's another 9 left inside. If we can draw out at least another 4 or 5, I mean, I guess that puts good numbers for us to take over the encampment.
All this thinking started in my head.
Let's run with this plan. I like it.
Okay. All right. So,
but we're not actually going to Kalingam. Like we're all clear that we're not.
No. It's just a ploy. It's just a ploy to get them out of the.
So we need to think that through though, because they might call us on it, and then that puts the people with 9 orcs in a pretty precarious situation.
Did you happen to even talk to the leader?
We don't even know if that was the leader. It could have been the leader.
You talked to some schmuck?
We didn't ask.
You're making deals.
He seemed very leaderish.
The fucking orc errand boy.
All right. I think we have to do one more thing before we proceed.
Yep.
I think it's in our best interest to double check that guy's even got the authority to make a move like this. And I think the only person left in the crew to be able to make that sort of thing might be Flamboyant.
Flamboyant, why don't you try to woo them with your
why don't you go flirt with one of the guys?
With your amazing dwarfish looks.
The only way I'll flirt with these fuckers is with my ex.
They might like that.
They might.
Butt stuff.
So at this moment, we could work with the orcs, get a cool sword, and maybe get the rug at the end of the day.
No, we're getting the rug.
And then we've pissed off 2 dukes because we fucked over the first one, remember?
Well, technically, the Duke said we can get a rug if we succeed, so this is all part of it.
No. What if we do just align with the orcs and kill everyone in the village and give them Kalingam?
Well, I can't do that. I'm a paladin. The 2 paladins can't actually do that, so.
But you don't know if it's right or wrong?
But wait, watch this.
At this point, it's wrong.
I'm going to make here's my impassioned speech. Look, boys.
And girl.
We've been looking at this through the wrong angle. These aren't savages. These are refugees. These are people living off of the dirt in the woods looking for a safe home, and they've been cast out of Kalingam. They've been blamed for the ailments of Kalingam. We have no proof that they actually caused this plague. We're going off of a duke's word. A duke with a mad nice rug who wouldn't even just give it to us. And now we're out in the woods in the cold and it's dark and I'm over it and I want to go back to Kalingam and have a drink. We're going to go back saying we killed all these. Why don't we help these refugees secure a nice town, make some friends in the process? I heard there's a sword in the mix. There might be more where that comes from. And heck, maybe we'll find a wizard and open the damn box. Do I convince anyone, Zach? Is anyone convinced?
Are you guys convinced?
I turned to Conor and then just loud enough comment for the elf to hear. I fucking hate that guy.
All right, now that the druid tried to do absolutely nothing and tried to weasel his way out of some combat, let's talk about setting a trap for these orcs.
Weasel my way into combat. I just pitched fighting with the orcs to get Kalingam.
Yeah, well, yeah. Of course you did.
I want to kill the barkeep.
You kill the
I'm in.
That's it. You convinced Flamboyant now.
We kill the barkeep. We kill the guy that sharpened your sword. We give the village to the orcs.
So wait, do they agree to send some of their people with y'all?
Yeah,
Or
We don't know yet. We gotta.
Well,
right?
I told
We
them
become
before
our
I left.
personal army. We go back to the first village, kill that duke.
Yeah.
I told them we'll be back in a half hour, and that they should meet us at their gates with their strongest men.
By the end of this, we're level 2 and we have an orc army, guys.
all right,
Come on.
so here's the thing.
So we're all gonna be Sauron. Okay.
So there's a total of there's a total of 16 orcs, right?
16 orcs.
That
what
we
you can
saw.
See,
that we saw,
17 from what you can see, actually, because you saw one extra one hidden on the wall.
Okay,
Right.
so
17 orcs.
17, and five of them came out to greet us, and then 4 of them are on the corners. So right there, that's 9 of the 17. So there's 8 more somewhere hidden in the encampment.
How many orcs do you see?
Yeah, I know, right? It depends on how many orcs are going with y'all.
All right. So you said in 30 minutes you'd be back with a crew. So how are we gonna set up a killing them ambush if the crew is with their? Like we
That's
have.
what I said. So we kind of got to split the party. The crew could literally just be Turbidus and Delphox.
Well, I think like who's got? Let's see. So you're a master at the woods. So I think we need to set up a trap. We're gonna have to set it up in the woods.
I could set up a trap, but I have some spells that could help with this.
Okay, so
Trap, I'm not necessarily super worried about. I'm worried more about like, what's the plan? We get them in the woods and trap maybe 2 of them.
And then
then
I'm
we
just
got
gonna
13.
hide in a bush and just fucking chop off heads. I'm down with that.
it's not the worst idea.
I kind of want to give the village away.
You kind of want to give the village away.
I mean, ultimately, what the Duke wanted us to come and wipe out the orcs. Did he? Did he?
I have.
But-
Can
Did
we
he
go
give an
back?
actual reason
Can we go
why?
back to the town and talk to the townspeople and just be like, "Yo, they want to live here."
I mean, we could try to negotiate some
We
sort
only
of.
have a half hour though.
Let's negotiate a real estate deal that everybody
It
that
would
works
take
for
you a
everybody.
couple hours to get back to the town. So
So we don't have time to get back there.
Classic. 30 minutes? Why would you promise 30 minutes, Rune?
It seems like,
A couple
good
days
enough.
at least.
Seems
You better
like
have a good convincing statement.
Yeah, I mean, if they think we'll be ready in 30 minutes, it seems like we're ready to go. Rather
That's
than
overly specific.
Yeah.
I like how in all of this discussion, Zach's probably like, "What the fuck are these guys doing?
This is the
No,
worst way
yeah,
to handle this situation.
They could just go to the left and they're going to the fucking circles."
No, he's genuinely impressed that we've not murdered everyone and gotten ourselves killed in the process.
Well, we'll see. We'll see because it
I'm
depending
holding
on.
my breath for now.
See, I'll put it this way: depending on if
Look.
they send their guys with y'all, right? And let's say we ambush them like out in the woods somewhere and all that too. How are we going to get back? Like what? There's nothing we can go back.
Well, if we take
encampment.
Connor,
if we take their 5
Connor.
strongest guys out, then they really don't. It's that much easier to get in there.
Guys, I think we're overthinking this. I don't think we could kill all these orcs. I think we've got to find a solution where we either split them up and pick off a crew of them and then go back for the rest, or we need to really flesh out this idea and get going on getting some of them out of the camp. I think, again, the town is more interested in figuring out what's causing the plague, not killing all the orcs.
Mhm.
But
So
obviously,
we
it's
can
not
get
the
into
orcs
the-
that are causing the
If we
plague.
can
Based on
get
his
into
comments.
if we can get into the encampment, maybe take a look at their sanitary conditions in there. Maybe they're polluting a stream of sorts. We could maybe if even just 2 of us get into the encampment and do some perception checks and look around and investigate some shit. Maybe steal a sword that he talked about and get out in time for you guys
There's a nice
to.
rug.
In time for us to
If they
maybe
have a
link
rug,
up.
I call dibs.
All right. We get in. You guys go to a point. You hit like a barricade. We do our investigating and then try to meet back up with you and be like, "Hey, dude, you're retarded and took the wrong turn. We have to go this way." And then we bring him to the town and cause some shit.
What were the orcs wearing?
From what you could tell, they were wearing like a sort of a crude hide, maybe like a leather. But
Any-
nothing, no like plate mail or anything crazy like that.
Damn.
Tassels?
So-
Were there any tassels
So
involved?
no disguising as orcs.
If you can find a way to match what they're wearing, it's possible.
Yeah, but like our faces and heads would.
You
get
notice, I mean,
that
at least
way.
from what Rune and Thorim would have noticed, is that the orcs were a variety of colors. Some of them were like a pale green, a couple of them were red, some of them were like a darkish purple, blue, maybe close to your color skin.
Would you say
Flamboyant.
that
So it's
would
a
you say that
Peloton ad
Flamboyant-
of orcs.
Pretty much, yeah.
he could pass as a baby orc? Do.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. So how about this?
Flamboyant, we
we
can go
go
back
off-
and get some. We can go get some skin off of that deer, and I can try and disguise you.
I don't even remember where.
All right,
okay.
let's go get these guys out of here. And
I think we feed off of the two ideas. So you go down, you tell the orcs you've got your crew, and they're at like the top of the hill waiting to go to the village. And then at the top of the hill, it's just the rest of us waiting to ambush them, so we can whittle down the 5 or 6 that come up. As
Who's
a
got the
group
best stealth?
of
I wonder
6.
if somebody can pick them off from the back of the march.
my
I
stealth
mean-
is terrible.
Turbidus has his actual ranged weapons and shit, so he could be.
Yeah.
He has a longbow.
I
Yeah.
got +3 on stealth, so
You have a +3
We
on
could
stealth.
set traps to make it seem like there's more of us.
I can mold some earth to make it look like there's shadows in the woods of more people.
What's your?
think-
Don't you have your ability where like they can't see shit?
Raytheon, one other thing that you consider as well for mold earth is that so let me just pull my book up now, just to get some information real quick.
You broke up a tiny bit, but I don't know what you said about mold earth.
I was just saying that mold earth can be used to dig as well. So
Yeah. So I know I could like excavate out a like hole. That's what I was thinking for booby traps, was maybe dig like a 5-foot deep hole or
So-
like something knock them into.
mold earth.
I have it
mold
in front of me.
Did we notice what type of weaponry they were sporting?
Uh,
That's a good question.
crude long swords, short swords, maybe some crossbows.
Okay.
That was kind of what
160.
you could.
162 in EE.
I love how like we've taken so long that once Zach's like, all right, then as the orc crew comes to the top of the hill, that's where we end it.
By the way, is it morning at this point?
Oh, no. So it's just turned to night. You guys not take that long. This is pretty much real time in terms of how these conversations are flowing and whatnot. So you don't have to worry.
It's 3 weeks later. Fucking spunk.
And until next time.
Yeah, and singing.
The
Well, it's
orcs have
nighttime, we
moved
can
out.
definitely use stealth.
The orcs have moved out.
You
Yeah,
know-
they're living a good life now.
Yeah, they've already killed the village, and we're just standing here being like, okay,
You
let's,
know,
let's
it's
do
a
it.
better idea to tell them to meet us off site at that point, so we just don't meet them. We just take out the rest of their camp, and when they come out back, they just kill them.
They're just kicking rocks, being like, where the fuck are these guys?
For 6 seconds. Okay.
Hey Zach, how good is their eyesight at night?
Orcs from what
Not Siri.
they have dark vision, but dark vision in general, you can only see up to like 60 feet of like dim light. Beyond that is dark.
Okay.
So you can still see kind of, obviously not as good as it is in daytime, but they still have vision to a degree.
So they have the same.
But given how it is probably nighttime now, as the sun has settled after about an hour of you guys conversing, it's the night vision is kicked in for all of you who do have night vision at this
Okay.
point.
I believe I have it, right?
Do I have the? I think a lot of us have it. Do I have the
Yeah.
back of 60 feet?
Everyone, yeah, I think everyone except Rune has night vision because he's a human. As far as I believe, it's 30 feet, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check though.
Guys, I have an idea. I have the ability with Druidcraft. I'm gonna light a fire in the woods. Maybe make it a little bit of a forest fire type situation, which kind of goes against my nature, being a wood elf. But I'm confident we could snuff it out eventually. I think that a fire next to the encampment might be enough to just pull them out without us having to really do much. At minimum, a couple of guys are gonna go out and try to put the fire out. And I can do this from a distance, so I don't even need to be at the point where the fire starts. I could be 30 feet away.
The real question is, we all want to. A lot of people keep saying they want to get into the encampment, but what's the purpose of getting into the encampment?
We got to investigate, see what's going on in there. Maybe there's a clue as to why the plague is occurring.
But I need orc heads, and there's only one way to get orc heads.
So go hang out about to start the fire.
Fucking orc head.
The leader is probably not coming with us, so you could probably kill the leader while you're there. And grab a couple weapons too, because I need to.
But it would be me versus 11 other orcs or something.
You're the
No,
one
you say- Flamboyant, you know what
versus
they're
11.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it make no sense, but no.
One thing as well, though, you guys, I mean, at least what you can acknowledge, you anything that looks like a leader of their tribe as of now. So it's kind of hard to say what you haven't seen at this point. You've seen 5 plus the 4 on top. So 9 out of the 16, 17 you've seen in total right now. You haven't seen anything that would, like, you know, signify as this is the leader. So just keep that in mind.
I really wish that we can crossbow the orcs up top. You know, I mean,
Fuck it. I walk over and I start a fire.
They're gonna,
I stare directly into Connor's eyes as he was about to start the sentence he was starting. I cast Druidcraft 30 feet to the left of me towards the tower where we were looking at that.
I look at Flamboyant like, why?
and immediately in that woods at the ground, you just see a little sparkle of a fire starting, and the dry brush on the ground just slowly starts to crackle and starts.
It'll take 2 minutes, but you definitely can start. Yeah, the fire is definitely. You started the beginning process of it before it's fire.
Oh man, you're breaking up bad.
Yeah, you're breaking up. I think it's just me. No, it's yeah, you Zach.
That's weird. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, that's weird.
Your picture is like delayed a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
You have something downloading?
Hold on.
Updating.
I don't have it. I shouldn't have anything.
I think it's starting to regulate now.
Yeah, you good. Look like something from AOL. Yeah, you should be good now.
Is this good now?
Yeah.
DHK.
That's weird. I have no idea why I was doing that.
Red Moon.
All right, so you started a fire, and then what
you're in the
they're gonna run out now and try to put it out?
You're in the beginning process of starting a fire. It's begun. The process has begun. It's gonna take some time though.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm with it.
Just 1 second. My mic is falling off here.
Okay, so
I just look back at Rune and I go, I don't know, man. You got 15 more minutes to get down there with a crew, and that fire's about to rage.
Okay, so how about this? All right, so we have some rope. Taking some ideas from the chat. We got some rope. We got some pelts. We got some brush and stuff like that. Let's make some makeshift crew and put them at the top of the mountain.
A scare crew.
A scare crew, and this way if then the 2 of us will go down and we'll say that the crew's up there waiting, and we'll try to lure them out that way, try to get them away from there as possible while the fire rages, and then we'll try to get there. We'll just try to get them out. That's all we can do at this point.
So you want to pull the Patriot and fake having soldiers?
Yes, it's a good idea.
I like it. Hey, Flamboyant, what's the Patriot?
All right, so who has rope on?
Crazy religious boy.
I throw my rope into the middle. Who else has rope?
I have a rope.
I'm saving my rope. I'm very badly obscuring my rope from vision, so no one asks me for it.
Okay.
See, my thing is, if they observe the fire, man, I know all of them going to be alerted anyway. You know what I mean? Especially going towards the fire. How about if
is now beginning to pick up?
Oh, it's now beginning to pick up?
Beginning to pick up some speed now.
I also have 9 wooden stakes. This isn't going to work because we don't have enough time because somebody had to jump the gun and light a fire.
I lit a fire under your ass.
What if we go around the back while they're being alerted to the fire and just like rope and grapple like over the the encampment?
Connor, don't you have like a crossbow or something?
I do have crossbows, and I wanted to fire at the boys up top.
Can you take out the tower people that?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do in the first place. I was like, yo, but I think we all had to.
And I have a
take them out,
longbow now, so I could probably do that.
No, but there's the thing. There's 4 towers, and there's 1 guaranteed on each tower, plus maybe 1 patrolling. So that's like 5, maybe 6. So if we all like, I think we all have crossbows.
But they can't see us if we're far enough of a distance.
Oh, then yeah, let's pick them off. Then let's pick them off at the top.
Well, so why don't we set 3 of us or 4 of us up on each tower, like around, like far enough away that they can't see us from the tower, but short enough of a distance that we can hit them with bows, and at least take out 1 guy from each tower. The guys that go answer the fire.
Oh, shit, the forest is on fire.
We're on fire.
Who do we have left? I guess.
I also can cast. Remember, if multiple people leave the gate, I have a plan for when they leave the gate. I'll just say that. I'm gonna position myself at the top of the hill.
I have a better plan. There's a freaking fire. How about me and Thorim just run to the gate and ask them to let us in so that we don't burn alive out here and see what they say?
Yeah, why don't you guys run in yelling fire?
Yeah, let's do.
Oh my God! There's a fire. Somebody tried to microwave a burrito.
It was the Nachos Go Grande.
So you see that the fire at this point is definitely evolving at a rapid pace.
All right, let's go back to the gate. Thorim, let's run back to the gate.
Fire under us.
That's true. Whatever.
Let's run back to the gate. Thorim and I run back to the gate.
Shit, guys!
And we start
on fire.
And we start banging on the gate to let us in, saying that there was a fire, that there's a fire started. It's heading right for their encampment.
You guys start running. You run to the gate and start slamming on the gate, and one of them looks over.
What do you want? You were the ones who started this, weren't you?
Like,
Not at all. We were trying to come back. 2 people killed our crew. 2 people. We were ransacked. Our crew was killed. All that was left was us 2 paladins. We came back to warn you. They're coming this way. They've started a fire.
Oh,
I tried to say that in a persuasive way.
His facial.
Perception. Perception or persuasion?
Deception.
Oh, persuasion. My persuasion is
Michael, no, deception. You're trying to deceive them.
Deception. I'm sorry.
Deception.
He was cutting out. I got a 21.
21. He kind of looks over and looks up.
open the gates.
And you see that the the gates open up for you guys, and you see the band of orcs that you were talking to earlier are now sitting in the center of this large encampment, and are looking at the one you were speaking with earlier is looking at you right now.
Where are they? Where's your crew?
Our crew was ransacked. We were ambushed on our way back. I had 3 or 4 other men with me, and all of a sudden we were taken from behind. The only 2 that survived was my fellow paladin Thorim and I. Then as we left, we managed to kill 2 of them, but they had torches. The torches fell to the ground and started a fire.
This is thought out.
Killed your group.
I couldn't hear that. What was that?
Who killed your group?
We don't know. We couldn't see them. I managed to slay one. It looked like it was another. It looked like it was a villager, perhaps, or somebody. I couldn't get a good look at them. I'm a human. I don't have good sight during the night.
I'm
Where
outside. We're all outside the encampment.
Together?
I think
Can I
at the
persuade
ground,
them to go fight the fire?
If you don't come outside and stop this fire immediately, it's going to burn down your whole encampment.
Connor, they've been in there for way too long. I think we have to act.
They kind of look around at each other.
I'm gonna look at Flamboyant and say, "Yo, let's go around the back and try to like infiltrate." You know?
Hold on. The orcs are going to say something.
We're going to fight fire with fire.
I don't think that's how fires work.
More.
Bring out Zokag.
And
Pretty sure water beats fire.
I'm sorry, what?
you see 3 of the orcs look at each other, and they're looking around frantically. One of them goes,
What? She said bring out Zokag?
Wait,
Is
You're breaking up.
I'm about to say that's another language. Dude.
Oh my
I think that
god!
was
Why?
Orcish.
He really spoke Orcish that
Yeah,
time. man.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm like, what he's saying?
Hold on, let me try. Let me just.
Sorry, I don't speak that language. I'm well versed in 5 different languages, and that was definitely not one of them.
Oh,
I was like, man, that's some good hieroglyphics, man. Oh, here we go.
All right, I don't know what's going
There
on.
you go.
My internet's fine, but
you seem a lot better now. Maybe it's just your connection.
maybe. So the orc turns back to the rest, and he turns to the one that is directing this, turns to the rest of the group. He says, "Bring out Zokag." And the
Zoteg?
Zokag.
Okay.
And the 3 of them look at each other. The 3 of them look at each other. Wash, you want to bring out Zokag? Are you sure that's a good idea?
Like a Mortal Kombat character.
And he looks around. He goes, if they want to come to us and burn our home down, then we need to fight fire with fire. And they all kind of look around. Okay, boss. And 3 of them start scurrying to the back stone hut as the rest of you guys, as Thorim and Rune are inside still. And you look around now. Make a perception check, both of you inside.
Hold on one second.
Yep.
Headphones are about to die, so it's gonna turn off now. Hold on.
My perception is
There we
a
go.
whopping 17.
17. Okay, Rob, make a perception check.
Perception. Where the hell is it? There it is. 12.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys would see at this point that the back right corner where the wooden house is, sort of like a little southeast of the stone hut in the back, or the stone longhouse in the back. You see inside that there is what appears to be a stone table in the back there. You see the 3 longhouses filled with orcs, at least another dozen, maybe.
Damn.
As well as around the perimeter, you see that all of the orcs are currently fixated on you with these longbows drawn to you. And you see that there's the 4 on the corners, and then as well as inside, there is an additional 4. So 8 orcs currently have bows drawn on you. Just watching carefully.
Dang.
So 8. So
Status
8
of the
orcs have
fire?
bows.
It's beginning to rage pretty hard now.
I turn to Connor once more and say, I fucking hate that elf.
I hear that very clearly, and now I completely disappear into the woods.
So you go off into the burning forest.
Yep, I'm in the burning forest.
Good riddance.
Okay. So 2 of you are remaining on top of the hill. What are you doing in this burning forest, Raytheon?
I am gonna try to position myself closer to one of the posts of the encampment. I'm still anticipating that someone's coming out into these woods, if not multiple orcs.
Okay,
Because-
first make a stealth check. I'll say you have it with advantage.
Cool. What's my 16?
And thus begins the end of our crew.
Okay.
As he was laid to the asunder by the flames.
And I remember I have Mask of the Wild, if that helps in this scenario.
That's why I gave you advantage.
Cool.
Okay, 16. No one appears to notice you sneaking around.
Cool.
So now that you're sort of on the side, and the the smoke and the ash and the soot are beginning to get very intense around you now, and the heat is really beginning to pick up. What are you looking for, real quickly, around the side of this encampment?
First of all, I fashion my hood that I have over my face because we have to have our face coverings anyway.
Okay.
I'm ultimately looking for like the best vantage point where I'm within like at least 90 feet of the entryway where people might come out of the encampment. I want to basically just position myself between the fire and the encampment in such a way that they can't see me, but if they come at me, I can act.
So basically at this point where you're at the corner of the encampment,
and kind of like the corner of the encampment where it stretches down to the front gate. That's where you're kind of hidden right now, and
Exactly
you're right below an outpost currently.
Perfect. Let's do it.
So after some time, the folks inside, which would be Thorim and Rune, you guys hear a noise that puts you off for a moment. Dare I say, sends a chill down your spine for a brief moment. As you guys are sitting there waiting for something to happen, you hear a very unique noise that sounds like chains being thrown about.
I'm so excited.
And as you guys are you're sitting there and waiting, you hear the sound of stone, like the thumping of stone. That is
Lord.
definitely a lot louder than you remember any of these orcs being. And as you guys are waiting sort of around, looking around, sort of gauging the situation as to how unfavorable this is for you, you start to see now that the 3 orcs run up from this stone hut in the back, and they're just yanking on this 3 separate chains as they're pulling something out. And you see them struggling against it, like, as they're pulling it out from whatever is. They come up the staircase, and from whatever is beneath it, you hear this guttural roar from within, just from deep within the chamber. And the orcs are like, pull, and they start, and they give one quick heave, and you see this humongous lumbering ogre that stumbles out from the back of this stone hut that just towers over the 3 orcs that's held by these 3 chains. As the one orc is standing beside you still, the one you've been talking with, is looking around. He's looking around, and he looks to you guys.
Where were they located?
Up the hill. Up at the top of that hill. We managed to scurry down before the.
All right then, we're gonna give them hell then. Boys, gather up. It's time to get to work.
So you see now is that 3 of these orcs are struggling to hold this one giant ogre down, who's sort of resisting and pulling back. You guys on top of the hill now hear that guttural roar that sort of fills the night sky, that just immediately hits you and almost sends like a quick shiver down your spine of just how intense that reaction was. What do you guys do on top of the hill, which would be Flamboyant and McNux?
Oh, we're all at the top of the hill. I thought you said we were all together. Who lied to me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're on the you guys are on top of the hill. Raytheon went down.
Oh, okay. So Raytheon went down.
He
He's
pissed me
now
off.
hiding in the woods along the tower, and then
You guys can be
McNutt and
second
I
class, so-
are on top, stealthily awaiting to ambush.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you hear that roar that
Can
definitely ain't pleasant.
Can I see them running? Like the orcs
who-
behind them?
you can see them starting to assemble in some sort of like formation. But it's kind of at the distance at the position you're at now currently. It's definitely a little like it's kind of still hard to see given how it's nighttime and you can't see that far down. You can kind of catch a glimpse of what that is. But outside of that, really, it's still relative. It's still like you can tell there's definitely forces amassing at this point.
Okay.
How
Turn
many more
to-
do
I turn to Connor and I say, "The fucking right situation looks like they got us in."
So you see probably about another dozen orcs now that
Coming
are
up
running
the
around.
hill.
They're running in the camp. They haven't left the camp yet, but they're assembling in the camp. And
Are the gates still open, or did they close the gates behind us?
gates closed behind you.
Okay.
And the two of you that are sitting inside the camp, you see about the dozen orcs and a few more. So the pretty much 15 orcs in total assemble on horseback now, which pretty much cuts the camp size down.
Can I use divine sense while in the encampment to find out exactly how many people are there?
Divine sense would only tell you if there were fey, fiends, celestials, or undead.
Okay.
Hey, check for it, because this place has everything.
Including ogres.
All right, what the fuck?
From what you can sense, make an intelligence check for me real quick. General intelligence.
Who?
Thorim.
22. That was a nat
22.
20, so +2.
You do catch a glimmer of
Nat 20.
fey in the wooden hut in the corner. It's not strong like it's a person, but more so like a trace of a person.
Okay. That's interesting.
Besides that, though, it's just orcs and the ogre.
Now, is there any opportunity where the ogre, I can like get the ogre's attention without the orcs noticing?
I mean, they're fighting against him right now, and like his strength. They're trying to hold him down currently. So, you could call to him. You don't know if he'd respond, but
Does an orc count?
Can I say like, "Hey, ogre," and like offer him one of the haunches of meat and become friends with him immediately?
Better use my meat wisely, man.
make a persuasion check with advantage.
Because those turkey legs are mad good. You got advantage.
That's 15. It's a 15.
15. You see he's struggling against the chains, and then you see him, and you go, "Hey, ogre!" and hold it up, and he. And you see he stops resisting against the orcs for a second, and they look at you and they go, "What?" And the ogre reaches his hand over as you hold the turkey leg out, and his giant fingers just pluck it out of your hand as he looks at you and
pops it in.
Wait, why are you distracted eating? How many people was holding the ogre?
3.
3? Yo, Flamboyant, can we take out those 3 people that's holding the ogre?
Well, we're nowhere near them.
Well,
We're
no, here's a good plan. So when we finally come outside, first person you should take out is the 3 ogres that are holding him, and then I will try to persuade him to turn on the rest of the ogres or the orcs for the second turkey leg.
This guy's got it.
you see so you see at this point now that as you guys are waiting around and the ogre has stopped resisting for the time being, you see as these 15 or so orcs assemble on horseback. You see whoever is taking charge of the situation points to them, and he points up to the cliffside.
Find them. Bring me their heads. We'll put them on a spike in the village when we claim it as ours.
They all raise these long swords, these crude-looking long swords, and warband a war preach. And you guys on top of the hill and Raytheon, you hear this as well, where this sort of unified war cry is let out, and you see as the gates parse open now, and you start to see about 15 horses are charging up the hill in your direction now.
Jeez, man.
What do you guys do?
Shit my
All
pants.
right. So as you're charging up the hill, I see them leave the gate, right?
Yeah.
All right. I immediately cast Entangle on that whole crew of horses
Entangle.
that are leaving the
I'm
gate.
sorry.
Entangle. Okay.
I've got 90-foot range. It's a 20-foot square starting from the point within range.
Give me just a moment.
And it says here, and I quote, "It fucks everybody up a lot."
20-foot square. For the duration, these plants turn the ground area into a creature in the area of the turning and entangling plants. Can use this action to. Okay.
I love when you say "okay."
Okay.
Okay.
Like, I guess, yeah, why not?
Interesting. Okay. Let's see.
And I want to use my inspiration. I'm doing this with so much inspiration right now. I'm feeling so inspired about my entanglements. I'm doing this to impress Flamboyant. Like, I want to impress her.
For inspiration, you can't use it on a saving. Like, you can't use it when I'm rolling a saving throw, but you can use it when you're rolling a saving throw.
Okay.
But let's see what happens. So it's a strength saving throw, I believe. Yep, strength check against your spell DC. Strength saving throw against a 13, which is your spell DC. So.
Yep.
Okay. So as you're sitting along the side, you peer your head out and you hear the charge of the horses go, and you like sort of weave your hands around in a quick motion, and you touch the ground, and you see these vines that lash out from the ground like a rope being slapped, and you see in one sort of like massive eruption, these vines spew out from the ground, and the horses are all just plucked out from underneath them, and the orcs go flying around this terrain as all of them, the 15 orcs on horseback, just scatter around the area. And they go flying around. They're all like falling on top of each other at this point, and they look around.
What the hell was that? What's going on? Who called this? Where did these vines come from? What's going on? Why did you trip over me? I didn't trip over you. What are you talking about? You did this. This is your fault. You can't ride a horse. I can ride a horse. Take that back, you piece of garbage.
Can you set those
And
vines on fire now?
The 15 of them are just fall over, and as they go to get up, they're just wrapped up in the vines.
Mad good
And
idea, Thorim.
You see the one orc who's inside hears the noise outside and looks past you guys and looks at you, and he goes,
"What was that?"
to Thorim and Rune.
Looks like vines.
That's so.
It sounds like your buddies out there can't handle their horses in the fire.
Is that an euphemism?
Make a deception check with disadvantage for this. This is
How do I do disadvantage? What do I do for disadvantage?
roll twice, take the lower number.
Okay.
Roll 2 d20s if you got them.
There's so much going
so,
on.
So I got a 14 and I got a 11.
11.
Yeah.
So he looks at you now with a straight face, and he goes,
I don't remember there being any wizards in Killingdom. Do you?
I don't actually. I know for a fact there aren't any wizards inside Killingdom because we asked for one. By the way, do you know what this lead box is?
You notice he doesn't even look at the lead box. He's just looking at you now.
And how do you explain vines that come out of the ground, human?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person. I've never seen vines come out of the ground. The only vines I've ever seen are the vines that grow on the large castles back where I'm from. I've never seen them grow out of nothing before.
Explain what just happened to my men.
I don't know. Thorim, do something. I give Thorim a little nudge with my elbow.
Perhaps he was hired by the village to attack your encampment, which is exactly why we came here in the first place, to create peace between you guys.
As I mentioned, I don't know any wizards from Kalingam. How do you explain my men being taken out like that?
But we're not from Kalingam either, so how would we know if there's a wizard there? or not?
Because you were just there.
But we don't live there. We don't know every person in town. Do you?
All right. How about this? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where this wizard could have come from.
Oh
So
my
let
God.
me take my friend Thorim real quick. We're gonna go outside and we're
You're
gonna
not
find.
leaving here.
Oh man.
As an incentive to behave, you can bring your ogre with you, and if anything goes amiss, then you can have the ogre destroy both of us.
A good contingency there.
Kind of looks around.
Watch
$5.
it. Stay on your post. The
Okay.
rest of you shitheads, come with me.
You see, pulls a great axe off his back now, and the three orcs start to drag the ogre outside of the encampment. And at this point, the vines now let go from their entanglement, and you hide back around the corner, Raytheon.
Oh yeah, I'm hiding.
And you see the 15 those orcs, probably close to like 30 orcs outside of this camp now. And Conor and Flamboyant, you guys are up on top of the hill looking down now and seeing that the entire encampment, for the most part, has amassed outside now.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And
That's
they're
good.
beginning to look around.
The fire.
Well, Raytheon, make a Constitution saving throw for me, because
Ooh.
the smoke from the forest fire is starting to get to you.
20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, you're holding yourself. You're not coughing yet, but it's started getting in your throat. The rest of you see this lumbering ogre come out of the encampment with 3 orcs holding it chained down, and Thorim and Rune are in the middle of this sort of a band of orcs with their weapons drawn, and currently beginning to walk up the hill and spread out in a formation.
You said that there are 3 people holding on to the.
Yes.
All right.
So 3 of you
There's
guys
about
can
there's
draw,
about 30
and
orcs in total.
if you guys could snipe those 3, I could try to get control of the ogre.
Is the ogre leading the charge, or are they kind of following?
The ogre's in the back.
Shit.
Can I do a thing?
What do you want to do?
Can I cast the cantrip mold earth and like make a hole big enough for myself to get under the wall that I'm in front of?
I don't know if mold earth works that quickly. Let me check real quick. I think mold earth takes a little bit longer.
Okay. Ideally, what I'm trying to achieve is getting into the base so I can like, while everybody else is wheeling and dealing, I want to kind of like investigate what's going on in the base when there's the least amount of people there,
Mold earth.
and hopefully not.
Activate it. It's like 6 seconds to move 5 feet of earth. So if you're trying to dig under, it'd probably take you, like, if you're trying to dig under and then dig back up, like, make a hole big enough for you to crawl under, might take like a minute to do. With all of your casting of trying to split the earth and get it to a point where you could get under.
Would it be faster if I climbed the wall with my climbing gear and tried to jump over stealthily?
You could certainly try.
I'm gonna try to scale the wall
Okay.
stealthily.
So for a climber's kit, this
No,
would
wait, because it's already like 4 people still up top. Remember, he left the guys on top of the post.
The only people that are left is there's one person in each post on top.
one
Everybody
person
else-
on each post. Whoever is left on the walls.
So you got to take at least a couple of those guys out to have at least one side free.
Okay, I didn't realize everybody was still up there.
You said have the.
Zach, you're breaking up again.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it's doing this, but you didn't hear that they were supposed to stay on the post when you were outside.
Yeah, I still feel like I want to climb this wall. Fuck it.
Yeah, because realistically you wouldn't know who's in there, who's not in there at this point.
I mean, I'm under it, dude. I know there's a guy in the corners, so I'm gonna try to climb like towards the middle-ish area. And again, there's enough going on with a fire and some people that just got attacked by vines that I feel like maybe I'm gonna be okay.
Okay. Make a strength check, add your proficiency bonus.
Strength, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Conor, how good of a shot are you?
I'm not bad with a dart.
12.
It's not
12?
very convincing.
I'm not bad with a dart.
We'll get to that in a
Bad with
second.
dart.
I'm not bad with
To the two of you up on the hill, Turbidus holds out some bread chunks. He goes,
Fucking
this
asshole.
could help.
This would help.
Maybe you'll have a little this. Here, take it. Yeah. He
Get
hands
back to fucking sleep. After my investment.
he hands a chunk of bread to you, Connor. This could work. This is power up.
All right, Conor,
Yep.
you think you could pick off some of these fuckers if I go charging in?
Absolutely.
All right. So would I have the actions available to
As a matter of fact, I still got my crossbow. All right, here we go.
rush towards the front of the unsuspecting but approaching orcs and pop my rage?
Ooh.
Okay.
All the while
Sure.
I'm covering them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll say you could do that. Before we get to that, Raytheon, with a 12, I'd say you could begin. You're scaling the wall pretty quickly. You're about up to the point where the spikes hit, and you can start to see the outpost. And you can see on this side of the wall, there's two orcs near your direction, like right in front of you.
I think I heard you say there's 2 orcs near me.
Yeah, hold up.
Yeah, you're kind of lagging again.
Oop.
Hey, look, now I'm Whoopi Goldberg on Celebrity Squares.
Damn, we need Rico to answer to add him back in, but Rico got up.
Circle takes the square.
So what's it like being the DM?
I don't know if you guys know this, but this is gonna go ass backwards, sideways, and left and right.
It's all
Oh,
Rico's
dude.
fucking fault.
Yeah, he's pooping right now, so I guess we'll take a break.
Yeah, I might just get something to drink real quick. Yeah, let me do that while he's.
I'm just gonna keep snacking on my popcorn.
Rip.
Ooh, popcorn right now.
All right, so this is
I'm
my
in, I'm in
plan.
the woods. I'm
My
in the woods
plan.
making some popcorn.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's my plan,
plan?
that I'm gonna run in there, pop my rage.
You gotta invite Jack back in.
You gotta accept Zach's call.
Easy.
And then I'm gonna start just fucking cleaving motherfuckers while Conor starts picking them off.
There we go.
Hopefully.
I think it's just the application itself that's giving me an issue.
Right.
I don't
That's,
think
that's what it seems like.
Yeah, because I just ran a bunch of
Yes.
I ran a speed test and the internet's fine. But let me just
If
check.
you have any other like windows open of this app running, either minimize them or close them. That helps.
Yeah, let me just check real quick.
That's usually the issue I have, is if I have like more than one of this app running, it like just kills everything.
That might be it.
All right.
Once.
Pick off these orcs so I could befriend this ogre. I want him to be my new friend.
I have an ogre friend.
Okay.
Could you imagine having an ogre? Come on, that would be cool.
That would be pretty badass.
We almost had an whoa. We almost had an orc army, and then y'all got like moral and wanted to not kill the village.
Well,
We
we stand
expect
to gain a lot, including that rub, if we do kill them all.
I want my fucking axe.
Okay.
Well, the more
Alright.
take the rug, and you
Hopefully
know,
this should do it.
There we go.
So
Did Thorim sense? So Thorim sensed a presence outside of the orcs and the ogres, like someone else is in that town. Is that what you said?
Somebody magical.
he sensed a trace of Fae within the camp. It wasn't strong enough to be a presence of a person, but it was strong enough where it's most likely a trace of a Fae, is what he would have sensed.
Okay.
So like some fairy wings.
Not necessarily. Fae's a variety of things. Let me just double check
So
to
like a
make sure.
piece- A piece of a fae.
Something that could have been left behind by a Fae, something that is a piece of a Fae, perhaps.
Noted.
I think
Ducks
it
over
is.
there getting hammered off that mead.
Maybe that Shorty promised us.
I believe. Let me just check. Yeah. Sorry, not Fae. A fiend.
Fiend.
Fiend. Yep.
Oh, well, that's different. I'll allow it.
So yeah, you climb up to the top of the wall and you notice that, sort of like you notice the two orcs on the outpost in front of you right there.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
gotta take my quick.
I still want to play this like stealthy AF,
Mm.
so I want to do a little distraction with my druid craft. I want to make like a sound of an animal, like basically like what are those guys called? You know what I'm saying.
All right, it'll be one.
Down in a place. Ventriloquism, a sound over like away from me, so I could climb down the wall and get like into a position of hiding.
Okay. Okay. Let me just.
And specifically, I want to make the sound of an angry badger.
What?
Okay.
Angry badger.
No,
Okay.
not a badger. I'm just kidding, not a badger.
Make a sound of a moose.
Ooh, a moose. I want to make a sound of a flaming moose.
A flaming moose. Okay.
I rolled a 1, didn't I?
No, so the note you turn around, you point your hand out, cast you weave the somatic component for Druidcraft and go out, and the distance you hear and you see the orcs on the wall. They turn their heads. What's that? They look around. They look in the distance, and the sound of the moose, whatever you call it. They draw their arrows and they hold it out in the direction of where you pointed your spell at.
Beautiful. Success.
And
I
is there
climbed
anything
down
you
the
want to do
wall.
after that?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so you-
immediately like scale down on that wall.
Well, they're still in front of you, but their
Oh.
attention is diverted from you.
Yeah, no, their attention is diverted, but they're still like in front. I'm having trouble visualizing.
They're still in front of you, but they're not looking at you. They're not looking in your direction.
For the moment.
All right, so I'm darting away from them and trying.
You'd
to
have
get
to
down
run
the
in
part
front of
the
them,
wall.
basically. You'd have to run in front of them. Here, if it helps, what I'll do real quick is.
Remember, your camera's gonna be like 10 minutes from mine.
That's why I said like you probably got to attack one or the other on each side. You know what I mean? To at least get some.
So,
All right, fuck it. I'm gonna attack these guys.
You gotta kill somebody.
I'm thinking like
I have to
last.
kill someone.
Like, yeah, let me see the last one.
Light them. Grab them with your vines.
I'm gonna draw a diagram for you just so you can see, and then I'll just post it in the Discord for you to see.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm deciding whether I want to stab one of them in the neck or shoot one of them in the head with a short bow.
Dude, man, you better go stab or stealth slit their throat or something like that. You know.
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
you
I
guys
feel
are in
like
the tower, right?
I'm just real happy Patrick Ewing got his powers back.
I just I want to just see this diagram because I need to know that I'm making the right murder decision.
Yeah, I've been distracted by Space Jam. This entire-
Space Jam, no. Entire
I've been
time.
watching too. I'm stoked about the part we're at.
It wasn't a dream. It really happened.
Muggsy,
right.
Muggsy Bogues got his sick handles back.
Yeah, dude, my nephew loves that freaking movie.
That's
I
the only
only
time
come
I
to
care about
D&D. I only come to D&D for the movies on McNuts' background. We should set up movie requests.
It's a movie request.
Oh man,
This is a very intricate diorama. So
I'm excited.
I need you guys to kill those orcs that are holding that ogre because I really need to become friends with them.
Yeah, if he can successfully kill one on top of the roof, he'd be fine.
Does the ogre like understand when somebody talks to him, or is he just completely?
you have no idea. You haven't seen yet. Okay, almost done.
Yeah, I really got to put like everybody's names next to these little pieces. Thank you.
Okay, so let me send this in the Discord real quick. So basically, the X's are your enemies. Question marks are you don't know what's there, and
Got
the
it.
I is where their attention is currently diverted to, and the R with the star is you.
Got it.
Hold on, where's the picture at?
Sending it now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I have achieved receiving the document.
I got it.
All right.
There you are.
All right, so below me are a bunch of longhouses full of orcs. Noted. In the center of the encampment is something.
It's a stone tower.
Question marks on everything.
All right.
So wait,
So
there's
the
a stone
X's,
tower in the
are
middle?
orcs,
X's are the orcs. Yep.
and what's
Just
the
one orc.
the star is Raytheon,
Star is Raytheon climbing
Okay.
the wall.
and what's the
So
eyeball
wait,
again?
That's where the vision is.
You gotta get the one that's south of you.
aren't I? All right, so I'm in the middle of the wall. I climbed to the top of the wall, and now I've diverted some of their attention, not all of their attention.
But then one sees them then.
How does people see me if I climb down? I don't get it.
If you are you drop oh you're saying you're dropping back down the wall. I thought you were just trying to scale the wall.
I want to drop down the wall into the encampment.
Yeah,
That
they would
feels
see
like
you
a
to
good
flip-
place
you
to
would,
be.
they would see you to flip around the wall because in order their vision is currently diverted north where the sound was made, or even northwest, just say. The orcs that are right in front of you, at least like on the southwest coast,
There's
they would
those
see you.
guys.
Yeah, those are the guys.
They're
They're
not
directly
looking-
in front of you.
They're not looking out at my beautiful fire.
No, because you just made a loud sound.
Oh, I've gotten everyone's attention, not
yes.
just those.
So wait a minute,
guys.
Zach. On that top of the
Yes.
if I'm looking at it correctly. There's bridges connecting each tower though, right?
Yeah, so there's a circular, like if you see that it's like almost like a circle, that's
Right.
like a walkway that you can walk from post to post. From at least you can walk from north to south, but you can't walk from east to west.
Oh, okay.
All
got
right.
it.
I'm gonna cut my losses and climb back down on the outside of the encampment.
The
Yeah.
attention is diverted though, as the gate is open, they're charging up the hill, and their attention is pointed away from the entrance right now.
You're welcome, everybody. I climb back down the thing and reposition.
Nah, dude,
This,
man.
dude, I have no like offensive abilities.
Do you want to run into the encampment?
No, I want to get away from the fire so that I'm not like in danger of smoke inhalation again.
Okay,
I think I want to just team up with the rest of the crew where like Flamboyant is.
Well, currently
Up the hill.
Flamboyant is charging down a hill, opposing
All right.
30 orcs and an ogre.
You covered
so-
it, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey, doggy.
then maybe not.
Wait, come up from
Shit.
behind. See if you can take out the three guys that are holding the orc. Are they
Yeah.
all-
All right.
Well, that we'll get to in just a moment.
Can I
Flamboyant.
see those? Can I see those three guys while I'm at the top before I climb down?
Yes, you can see all the orcs. You can as you're like peeking over the spikes on the wall. You can see all the orcs that are on the outposts currently. And
I had a very. I think that I'm picturing a much bigger place than we're playing in.
well, it's obviously the scale isn't like according on the
Yeah.
map per se, but it is big. It is a large camp. But you can see the orcs at least that are on their post because they kind of stick out because they're the only people left in the camp. Make a perception check for me though. Just I'll say if you see anything before you leap back down.
All right. 23.
23. In the center where the circle is,
Yep.
you see that tower has it looks like 3 windows that are very thin, more like arrow slits, and you see movement within there as well.
Great. All right. I need to be in a position where I can help my crew, and I'm probably gonna, in true Raytheon fashion, I'm shooting off my short bow, and I want to pick off at least one of the orcs in the pile of horse orcs.
Okay. Well then, since this is gonna kick off, first, let's just have everyone roll initiative.
Am I the first person to attack? Jesus Christ.
No, Flamboyant is because he's
I'm
charging
trying
into.
to, but then you did all this shit with climbing a wall.
19.
Just hold on to your numbers. I'll ask you for the numbers.
Oh, what are we doing?
Initiative.
Rolling for initiative.
Damn.
God damn it.
I'm trying to roughly draw what you drew in my little notebook here.
Okay. So let's roll for Turbidus. Okay. So who got a 25 to 20? Great.
That doesn't sound good.
Mhm.
Turbidus got a 20. 15 to 10. Or sorry, 20 to 15. 20 to 15.
I got a 19.
I actually got more. I got 22.
Okay, well, next time say that when I call 25 to 20.
Oh, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Okay. So then 15 to 10.
14.
14. Okay. Go there.
Keep going.
10 to 5.
7.
And then 5 to 1.
3.
Oh, nice.
Excellent. Okay.
Our shoddy elf did worse than me.
As far as the current initiative order goes, it is Thorim, Turbidus, Rune, the orcs, Conor, the ogre, Flamboyant, and Raytheon. Flamboyant, you will get a Flamboyant and Conor will get a surprise round though, since the orcs were not expecting their onslaught.
Right, baby?
So
card.
Flamboyant, you are charging into this huge pile of orcs.
Oh my god.
What do you do?
All right. So there's 30 orcs between me and the ogre, who is being held by 3 additional orcs.
27.
27 and then the 3.
And then the 3. And then also Thorim and Rune are with that group as well.
Is it at all possible to try and perform some sort of athletic maneuver to try and get over through the first 27 and get to the 3 holding the orc?
You can certainly try. Make an athletics check.
All right.
Describe to me how you're going to try and barrel through 27 orcs.
I attempt to leap over the charging set of orcs.
Okay.
Oh, you fucking piece of shit game. I almost got a 25, but I got a 7.
What?
7. Okay.
The dice hit the wall and it bounced back, and I got a 1.
So
Or
you
6.
start
That's
chugging
That's
downhill,
creepy.
full speed ahead.
God damn.
Great axes out. You let out a war cry as you go into your rage, and as you leap up forward, you and as you fall down into this trying to leap ahead, one of the orcs grabs you in the air and just brings you back down to earth and throws you in the middle of this giant pile.
That's where it gets fun.
Great. I pulled a fucking Raytheon.
I say to myself, I fucking hate that dwarf.
Okay, and Connor, you get a surprise round as well. So what do you want to do?
Oh man, I was hoping I could cover him pretty much, but
Oh, wait, when did or do I activate my rage? Did I already
It's
do
already
it?
activated. Yep.
Okay, so I click my pip. Okay.
Yep.
wait.
Did they
I'm going to focus on the orcs that's around Flamboyant, man. Try to give him some space, man. So as far as how many, I want to say, crossbow bolts can I shoot at a time?
Since you're level 1, you can only do one at a time.
That's some bull crap. All right.
You can do more unarmed. I think you could do 2 unarmed strikes, but range attacks you can only do 1 at a time.
Same thing with darts, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me focus on the person.
He's in the middle of them now, basically. So no matter where you throw it at,
You're
that's
hitting
just
something.
trying to create space for them. So
Right. And so just hitting one ain't going to do nothing.
Do you have any spells?
Yeah, I see that I can do spells. What spells can I actually do? You know,
what spells can you do?
Take the fire.
As a monk, you can't do any.
I want to say but it's so weird having my action in combat says cast a spell. I'm like, what spells can I do? Okay, all right.
Just if you were to have it, it's just giving you all the examples of what an action could be. But you only have 1 attack, so you could do a dart or crossbow bolt. But because you're a monk, you can use a bonus action to do an unarmed strike as well. So
the closest orc to me is
like within your movement range.
Okay.
So you can run up and piece them up.
Let me can I crossbow the one, I guess probably one in the range of Flamboyant and then unarmed strike the one that's close to me?
The second one you can only use the bonus action to attack when you use the attack action with an unarmed strike. But I think actually is a simple weapons. Let me just see if a light crossbow is a.
I get a drink real quick while he saves my butt.
Simple. I think then in that case, monk weapon. Just want to check and see what a monk weapon would be classified as, just because you can use a monk weapon, and then I think darts would be classified as a monk weapon here.
Right.
So I don't think you can use the crossbow, but you can use a dart.
Like use a dart. Okay. So
you can use a dart and then go into an unarmed strike.
To kind of like dazzle everybody that's around Flamboyant.
Yeah.
You know, we try to give them at least some sort of time, some sort of space, and then the one that's close to me just unarmed strike, basically just a couple good rounds.
Go ahead and roll a dart attack and then an unarmed strike attack.
Dart attack going. Okay, let's see. That is 11.
11. That hit.
And unarmed strike attack.
Yep.
All right, that is 16.
That hits also. Go ahead and roll damage for both.
All right, for dart, 5, and unarmed strike is 7.
5 and 7, so 13. Okay, so with that, you first one like a dart comes around, hits him in the neck, and then you do like a spin around, and you just left hook just kind of clobbers him on the backspin, and you just hear and you knock him out, and he is down. So there are now 29 orcs remaining.
Nice. That's good for a party of.
There's something. I'll take the first kill.
Well,
with that at the end of your turn, we can now go to the top of the initiative order. So, Mr. Shadowsbane, as you see Flamboyant charge down the hill at the pack of orcs, and Conor just leap into combat immediately, you hear just chaos break out. What do you do?
Okay, how far am I from that ogre?
You're with them.
So I'm with the ogre.
You're with the pack, yeah.
Okay. What are the orcs around me doing? Are they focusing on him?
3 are focusing on holding down the ogre, and then the rest are split between Flamboyant and Conor at this point.
So the leader is with me right now, right?
Yes. Well, whoever, what he was, yeah. For what you would assume the leader.
I'm wondering if I should go for. So if only two of the guys were holding the ogre, they would not be able to control him, correct?
Maybe. You're not sure. It would take a lot. Losing a body would take a lot more strength for them to hold it down.
Okay. Are ogres the type that only follow their leader? Or are they're just like whoever is the strongest takes over kind of thing?
Make a history check.
I got a 17.
17. By nature, ogres are pretty chaotic, so you would probably assume they don't really have a master or a leader.
Okay, so killing this guy would not necessarily make them my ally now because I bested their champion kind of thing.
I'm not sure. You carry. Would be hard
Give it
to
a
tell.
shot. Give it a shot.
All right, fuck it. I'm going for the leader.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
I'm gonna attack him with my warhammer. You said attack roll. What the hell is attack? Why can't I find it?
On your weapon, if you go to Warhammer, there should be a button.
Yeah, roll d20, add 4.
D20 add 4. $23.
23, that definitely hits.
Yeehaw.
Was that a nat 20 or no? That was a 19. Okay, yeah, go ahead. You're using your warhammer or your greatsword?
Warhammer.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
And what is that?
It's 1d10 plus 2.
9 with the 2.
9 points of damage. Okay, so you have the warhammer out, come around, and how do you hit this leader, breaking the shtick?
What's that?
How do you hit the leader? Like, what do you do when the shtick is up?
So I hold the hammer above my head, and I just let out this guttural, "Ah!" and just bring the hammer down upon his head.
So you let out this war cry, "Ah!" and he has his great axe out, and he's, "Ah!" and you just and you cram it into his head. You see he falls face forward onto the ground, and he's just starting to pull himself up with his axe, but you have a big hit into his head that he's not looking good at all. He's not good at all. Okay, and that is the end of your turn, Thorim. It's now Turbidus' turn. So Turbidus from the back line. Let's see what Turby Derby can do. Since he's a bit of a sniper.
And he eats some breadcrumbs. Next turn.
Let's see. Okay, so he will. Let's see. Would you want him to go for one of the guys holding the ogre down, or do you want him to go for just whoever?
Ogre. He wants
Ogre?
Justice, so he wants to set the ogre free.
Okay, so he will use Blood Maledict, and he will. Let me see. He will not use Blood Maledict yet, but he will pull out his longbow, and he's going to make an attack roll against one of the guys holding the ogre down. That is I think that's a 9. Is that a 9? That's a 9. Plus 5, which is a 14, which hits. So he does. Boy, 10 points
damage.
So longbow pulls it out, hits one of the ogres in the neck that is holding one of the orcs is holding the ogre down in the back, and you just see him immediately just hits him, and he just flies down, and the arrow gets stuck in the ground with him, and one of the chains suddenly goes taut on the ogre, and you hear him begin to sort of flail and begin to scream in this sort of aggravation. That is the end of his turn. Rune, you are up.
All right, the leader's on the floor. He's got his head smashed in. He's still alive though, so I try to end this. I take my long sword out and I try to decapitate him with the decapitation.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
I love Brutal Legends so much.
18.
That'll definitely hit. Go ahead.
Alright.
And roll damage.
Okay, and
1 damage.
my damage is a 12.
Yeah, you just Ned Stark bringing ice down on that poor bastard.
Boom! Just taking it full speed as hard as I can, right at the neck.
Just immediate, the head just, and it's the spatter hits all of these orcs that are around, and chaos is certainly broken out.
With my last little bit, can I grab the head and kind of stick it to my side?
Sure.
Can I grab his weapon?
After the head comes out, I catch it and I just kind of like attach it to my waist. Now it's on my waistband.
So it is now the orc's turn. There's 27 of them left.
But the leader's dead, so
the leader is dead. But there is also probably about 20 of them that don't know that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm the captain now.
Okay, so we'll do a few against. We're gonna spread this out a little bit. So I'm gonna roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1. Thorim. 2 of them are gonna attack you. That is a miss. Another 2 attack you, Thorim. That is also a miss. Yeah, that is also a miss. So 4 of them miss you. You're just ping, 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 ping.
He's got Mjolnir in his hand.
Turbidus from the back is going to get 2 crossbow bolts shot at him. Those will miss. Jesus. Just.
I'm gonna get hit 7 times.
What
right
these
in the
orcs?
chest.
These orcs are what? Stormtroopers? Man, what is going on?
Apparently.
They're all shaken from our surprise attack.
That is 6 that have attacked so far. 6 that have attacked so far. Next is Flamboyant. 2 are going to attack you.
Bring it.
Well, that is a unnatural 20. So going to hit you for only 4 points of damage because you're raging
I was gonna say I've got my thing.
from the 2 attacks, and then
4 damage. Okay.
4 damage. Yep. This is 10. Another 2 bolts are going to fly at Turbidus for natural 19, which will hit for 5 points. 5 points of damage against Turbidus. There's 2 bolts fly past you in the heat of combat. That is half of the orcs now. Next up is Conor. Or no, sorry, that's Rune. Rune, 2 attacks against you. That is a miss against you. So that's 12. Rune again. That is a 17, which will hit you for 6 points of damage.
Damn, son.
Oh, shit.
You half
Right.
dead.
I could heal myself.
Okay. Thorim, this is against you. That is a natural 17, so that will hit
Dun dun dun.
for 3 points of damage. Conor against you. That is a natural 19, which will hit for 6 points of damage.
God,
Oh.
jeez.
The last 2 are against Flamboyant.
Bring it.
Is a 14, which will just hit you. So you take additional 3 points of damage. That's the number halved. So after this onslaught breaks loose of just total war in the middle of you guys and this band of orcs you guys are holding your ground pretty damn well against a group of 20 orcs currently that are going off. With two of them held down and a few of them still distraught and trying to figure out what's going on. Conor, it's your turn.
Oh man, with 4 hit points, I gotta step away from the masses a little bit, man. Can I just do one part? Let me look at the map again. Just do one part of the encampment. I guess they're all right in front of the encampment. Can I stuff?
Yeah.
Or I can't stuff. But can I stuff around to like the side or just kind of catch your breath?
They have ranged weapons, so at this point, there's pretty much no escape.
You're in the
Okay.
suck.
Yeah. The best thing you could do at this point would probably be just to fight back.
Yeah.
Who can cast that entangle, and can that be cast more than once?
Yes.
Yes,
Raytheon
yes,
can
and
cast that
yes.
if you have a spell slot.
Quick question. How many orcs are still holding the ogre? Just 2?
Try to take one of them out.
I think
That's
our
what I'm
best
trying
bet is
to
to get the
think.
ogre. Is to get the
That's what I'm
ogre.
trying to think too. The ogre can sweep them up.
That's our only shot right there. Is if
Yeah,
I
right.
can the ogre because I'm next to him.
Yeah,
Because I've already shown him kindness.
right.
Try to appeal to him on my next turn to try to get him to sway
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Let me do a dart and a unarmed hit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Roll
we'll do the same thing. Give me a second. Here, go to the page. All right, here we go. For the dart, it's 14.
Hits.
For the unarmed strike, it is 16.
Hits. Go ahead and roll damage for both.
Damage for dart is going to be 4. Mother. Unarmed strike, damage for that is going to be 5.
Okay. So with this, the dart comes around, hits him you hit him in like the side of the chest, and he peels over, and you see him lose sort of his grip on the chain for a second, and you come around and just box him up, and just and then you take the chain and wrap it around his neck, and just until you hear a crack, and you let him drop. And with that, you see the ogre, which is the ogre's turn. You're standing right next to it now, as it has one chain left on it, and it looks down to you, Conor.
We back up and like, come on, I just saved you, man. Come on.
And it takes the chain from the orc that's holding it down and just throws the orc off
Nice.
the battlefield. You hear a Wilhelm scream somewhere in the distance. And the ogre is going to unleash his fury against these poor bastards. So, oh boy, that's a 19
Oh my god.
and a, let's see, 10. Okay, so those will hit. So this is raw hands. 2. Okay, so he clears out with one sort of blow with his arm as he just swoops through the crowd. You see him take out 4 orcs and one
Nice,
swipe
nice.
through, and the other comes around as he starts clobbering through them. You see they all start beginning to spread out, and their attention is diverting around as they're surrounded at this point. Even though they have you surrounded, the tables have turned very fast on them. Flamboyant, you're up.
Is that 8 orcs dead?
There's 23 remaining. Actually,
7.
22. Sorry, 22. You were right.
So 8 dead? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I jump up back on my feet, and assuming that he's still alive, I turn to the orc that grabbed me and pulled me down, and I swing my axe at his neck.
Go for it.
All right. So I click the hit.
Yep.
14.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. And then the damage. 5.
5. Okay. So with that, you bring your swing your blade around, cut his head right off with one foul swoop with your blade, and you take his hand and you just throw him down too. And
1 down, 7 to go.
Raytheon, you're up from downtown.
From downtown, I think
Patrick,
it's
you-
time that I'm gonna finally do a thing. I want to use my short bow to try to hit one of these dudes on the top of the thing from where I just climbed down.
Okay, go for it. I'll say you have advantage on this because they are not aware of the situation.
Exciting. I'm gonna roll. I got a dirty 20.
That'll definitely hit. Yep.
All right. And then I'll
I'll say
roll
because they're
down.
unaware, this would be a critical hit. So
Ye fucking ha.
if it's a short bow, it's 1d6 or roll 2d6, and then add 4 to your damage.
13.
13. Okay, so you just pick it up, look up, takes one out from the top immediately, and their attention, they look around, we're under attack, and then they look around, one of them goes, you dummy, they're fighting outside the camp. Oh, they're under attack out there. And just from the first arrow you launched, they haven't noticed you yet.
Nice.
So
how's that fire doing? Is it getting near the camp yet?
It's beginning to torch the side of the camp now.
Beautiful.
And with that, we're back to the top of the round. Thorim.
All right, so now that this ogre is unleashed, I try to appeal to him and scream to him, if you help us, I'll get you all the food you can eat. I was like, and here's a down payment, and I offer him the second one.
You see, swinging around, looks to you.
Oh, too bad.
Tiny friend, may I help you?
Yes.
Good human. Me good ogre.
He starts to flash back out of the rest. And I'll say you can take an attack.
Okay, so, all right, who's in immediate trouble right now?
I got 4 health.
Everyone.
Everyone's in immediate
Yep.
trouble. How far am I from Conor?
He's on the other side, but you can kind of like, weave and bob your way through.
Okay, because he's about to die, isn't he? Doesn't he have like
4.
I mean, everyone's pretty low.
I got more than half my health.
Well, for the most part, everyone is still
If I should
damaged.
go for an attack, or if I should heal Conor since he's about to go down? I'm trying to debate.
There's 20 left,
There are
so
20 guys left.
that's 10 rolls basically.
Okay, so
Dispersed between
Conor is typically able to take down 2 guys at once, right?
possible. So far,
Yeah.
it depends. So far, it's typically been one per go.
And there's no spells that I have, right?
No, not yet.
I don't have any spells.
Just your lay on hands.
Yeah, I believe you get spells at level 2 or 3. Let me see. You just have light, but you'll get more as you level up.
What does light do?
It just casts light. It makes a beam of light. You do have your radiant soul, but it's an action where you transform, gaining glimmering eyes and 2 incorporeal wings for 1 minute, or until you end it as a bonus action. You have flying speed of 30 feet, and once per turn, you can have 1 attack or spell deal 1 additional radiant damage.
Dude, you go Super Saiyan.
Right?
Pretty much.
That is kind of cool. So wait, if I cast that spell, then I could still attack?
No, that'd be your action to use that.
One action, I'd have to wait till the next turn in order to
Yes.
I think that would be a waste. I think that I should hold that off for...
Okay. So it's up to you. You can either attack or you can attempt to heal Conor.
All right. I'm going to attempt to heal Conor because then he can back me up. If
Okay. So then you heal Conor for the full 5.
hit him, I'm going to hit him with a lay on hands.
Okay. So Conor, you heal for 5 hit points.
Lay them hands on me. All right.
And that is into your turn, Mr. Shadowsbane. Turbidus is up. From downtown again. The longbow comes out. That is a natural 17, which will definitely hit. And ooh, another orc as he pieces him up with a snipe to the head. Turbidus, Ethos' finest sniper, takes out another orc, and that is into his turn. Rune, you're up.
All right. I'm low, so I'm gonna heal myself for 5 points.
Okay. At the end of your turn now, it is the orcs' turn. There's about 19 of them left. and the ogre is giving them a good scare here. Let's see. Rune, roll a d12 for me.
Nine.
You see, as the ogre is beginning to scream and just onslaught these orcs, that 9 of them disperse now from the crowd and begin to flee in horror as this thing is just you guys and this ogre are just piecing away at them.
All right.
So with that, with the few remaining that are still trying to survive, they're going to lay back into you guys again. And the ogre, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Like 10, right?
There's only 10, so that'd be 5 rolls. So first is on Rune. That is a miss on you. Next is Conor. That is a miss on you with an natural 2. Next is Flamboyant. That is another natural 2. Next is Flamboyant again. That is a natural 1.
Yeah.
Nice.
These guys are terrible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers,
And lastly
man.
is Flamboyant one more time
First time's your charm, baby.
for a miss again on you.
Stormtroopers,
Oh
man.
my God.
Stormtroopers. Let's go.
Wow. I
Man.
can't roll above
It's
a
a
10.
to die at this point.
They were not prepared for me to just fucking bull rush their
We
shit.
didn't have the training.
Like an NFL defensive end just charging.
And
Yeah.
We missed boot camp. That's why.
These poor orc refugees.
That is the end of their turn. Conor, it's your turn.
How many's? Well, I guess. Well, how many's
10
near
left.
me?
There's
It's
10
10?
left.
There's 10 left. It's
Man, just just take one out. Just keep going.
yeah, I'm about to say I'm gonna do the same thing, man. I stack. That's why I stacked up darts, man. Let's do the same thing. Let's
All right, go for it.
let's do darts and good
Well,
hands.
in the range arena, it would probably just make more sense to do unarmed strikes, so you don't lose darts because everyone's in combat. Everyone's in melee range.
Oh, okay. So can I do? I can do 2.
Yeah, two unarmed.
Okay, go. Let's do that then. First one is 22.
That'll hit. I'll definitely hit. Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus, you guys are rolling so high.
Not
22.
fucking me.
And the second one is 6.
6. That'll miss. Okay. So go ahead and roll 1 attack.
Gotcha. That's me 5.
5. Okay. So with that, you come around, hit this guy in the neck, and you see him stumble over, falls back, and you just come back over one more time, and he drops. And that leaves us with 9.
Don't forget, we
better
gotta take
than
these
30.
head back too, man.
I'm
And it
chopping
is
off
now
all
the
these fucking heads.
ogre's turn again. As he looks
Take out
around.
8 of them.
Come on, big daddy ogre.
Friends!
As he just starts laying into these.
I love this.
Oh
fucking
my
movie.
God.
Yeah, this ogre's my boy.
Okay. Let's see. That is. Oh my God. That's cocked.
Aren't you glad you gave me the turkey legs now?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad now. Yeah, sacrifice my hunger, man, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So he takes 4. He takes 5 of them out in his
Jeez.
onslaught, and there are 4 left, minus the ones on the walls.
4 left.
4
4
left.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
and
So 4
the-
plus 3 on the walls?
4
Because he killed one?
plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the walls.
Oh, damn.
But they're from what you can see, they are getting ready to run at this point because their entire encampment has just been slaughtered. So Raytheon, as you're up there, you see them you see bows getting thrown around, and you see them making a beeline for the entrance of the encampment at this point.
Stab him in the
Flamboyant,
back.
your turn, Flamboyant.
as I spin around to look at the now crapping their pants orcs, I say, where the fuck you think you're going? And I charge towards one of them and
Okay.
raise my axe to swing at their throat again.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
All right, great axe roll. At 25.
Jesus
Good
Christ.
God.
That's
Was that a nat 20?
It was a 19 plus 6.
19? Ooh, okay, yeah, that'll
Yeah.
that'll definitely hit. Yeah. Oh my
And
god.
then my damage is 13.
Cleaved. Just completely cleave with your blade, just cut in half.
Cut the dude in half.
And that's like, does this weapon also get +2?
Yeah, so
it's-
15.
Okay.
Even more, just
Yeah. Even
there's a
more
slight
popped
delay in
off.
the cut.
Nice.
Then
Head
Flamboyant is in your
slide
turn.
down.
Raytheon, you're up. 3 left, besides the
Alright.
ones that are fleeing on the walls.
I want to just the 3 left that are like in the encampment, right?
They're outside of the encampment, fighting the rest of the
Outside,
group.
outsides. All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna just short bow whatever one is closest
Okay.
to me.
Go for it.
10.
10. That'll hit. Yeah, that'll just hit.
Beautiful. All right, and then this bad boy. 8. No wait,
8.
6 plus 4 is 10.
That'll
can't.
just take
Oh no,
one
6
of them
plus
off.
2. Sorry, 6 plus 2 is 8. Sorry.
That'll
sorry,
still
sorry.
just take one of them off.
right, beautiful.
Short bow. Snipes one of them in the chest and he falls down. Thorim, it's your turn.
all right.
Only
where
2
am I?
left.
I guess I'm still in the middle of this field, right outside the.
There's 2 left.
You and your ogre buddy.
Okay, so I'm gonna, I guess, kill the one closest to me
Okay, go for it.
with my warhammer. So we're gonna go for the D20.
Man, 10 rounds is so many. I've only been, what, like 3?
Do I have to add to that?
You'd add 4. Yeah, 10 rounds is a lot. I don't think I've ever had combat that's gone past like 10 rounds.
So
Max.
22,
That'll definitely hit.
and then it's a D10, right, for the attack. So that's a 7.
7. Okay. So you beat this one down with your warhammer and just slam his head and just smash it into the ground like a watermelon. And there's one who remains. Turbidus from the back. One more. That'll hit. And that'll do it. As the final one, Rune, you see this one running up to you with his long sword out as he's about to go swing at you and you're about to parry it. You just see an arrow that goes right through his mouth and like nearly hits you as you just hold him back for a moment. And you just push him over and he falls down. And on a battlefield littered with orcs, you see the massacre that just went down here. And as you were looking around, your newly acquired ogre friend looks around at all of you, looks over to you, Thorim.
Friend.
Yes, friends.
Friend. Oh, me, friend.
Thor, friend.
Oh, Tor.
Tor.
Tor. Good friend. Good friend.
As he like picks you up off the ground. Good friend.
Shakes him for like 2 hit points.
And he puts you back down and he sits down in front of you. Good friend. You save friend.
Yes, we'd like very much if you would join us.
Oh, Join.
Yes. Become friends with all of us.
Join.
Yes,
I will-
friends.
Keep saying it over and over again.
I gotta clip that
I-
part.
Can I walk over and hand him my or like toss him my deer meat?
Yeah, so he's just looking confused at Thorim right now.
Join.
Say it again. Say it again.
Join.
Join!
Another.
Yes, joy.
And Raytheon walks over with deer meat. And you see this lumbering ogre who's sitting down like a little toddler currently. And you just hand him the deer hide.
Yep, exactly.
So you,
I like toss it over like playfully.
so you're like, hey buddy. You throw it up to him. And as he's you see him looking around, and then all of a sudden this deer meat comes flying out from downtown, and you see him look over. Ooh. Looks to you, Raytheon.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
buddy.
I'm looking at y'all like y'all can play with y'all new pet, man. Can I investigate the encampment?
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh, we've
as
successfully done this. Nice.
the western
Survived.
fence of the encampment is beginning to be burned down, but
I wonder why.
go ahead and make an investigation check.
12.
12. Okay.
Make sure you check that room.
Where's north on your? Is your map like what north is? Like is
Yeah,
like north
yeah.
up on your map? Okay.
Okay.
Who would have thought their biggest weapon would become their biggest problem?
All of us.
We were completely stupid until
Connor, actually here, never. Actually, roll 2D. Can you roll a D100 for me on there? I'm not sure if how it works that way, but if not, I can do it. But
A
Yeah.
D100?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
saying, do we have a D1? No.
I don't think we have.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
D100.
It's towards the middle of the. It's towards the middle of the list. It's the two.
Oh, I
dice
see
next to
it.
each
I
other.
see it. I got you. All right. Air rolling D100 right now.
If you do it in real life, it's these two weird looking die.
96.
96. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And what is the second roll?
Of a D100?
Your roll was so high you killed Zach's camera.
71.
71. Okay.
There he is.
Those are items. He's giving you things.
Ooh.
Fucking guy.
Are
I
there,
want stuff. I want that
I wanna-
sword.
are there any,
I am definitely looting.
wait, I
Hmm.
want to grab the lead orc's battle axe.
Okay.
Slow down, guys.
Yeah.
Flamboyant got to get heads anyway.
I was gonna say while you guys are all being greedy, I'm just fucking chopping off heads and shoving them in my bag.
Well, I had to because
But I got the lead orc's head on my waistband.
Are you
I'm
doing like
fucking
the?
snatching that shit from you.
Are you
Nah,
doing
nah,
like the
nah, nah.
beer can staff with the heads? Like you're just making a giant staff of heads to carry back.
Just stab those
it's like
heads.
it's like a kebab.
Yeah.
Orc kebabs. Come get your orc kebabs.
Okay. Roll another D100 for me.
You got it.
Jesus.
I like that the music got happy.
Right?
54. Just keeps going down. It's crazy.
Womp womp.
Okay. So, inside the camp, you find a couple things. One is you find a longsword that looks a little crude, but at the same time, not bad at all. It looks a little refined, crude maybe in that it's been extensively used. But in its design, maybe with some polishing and whatnot, it might look pretty nice. So I will add that to your inventory in just a moment.
Okay.
And then I would also like, let's see here. Okay. Roll 2d6 for me.
First one is a 1. Second one is a 2.
2. Okay, so 3 total. So in your search around the camp, you've managed to sort of scrounge out about enough, copper and silver, a couple gold pieces together to accumulate about 30 gold pieces.
Wowza magowza.
Alongside this blade. The one pressing thing that you notice that Thorim sort of points out to you in that the wooden hut in the corner, where his divine sense sort of went off. Looking within this chamber, you notice that there is it's a stone sort of slab that's laid out. That one, when you walk in, it smells quite foul. The second is that the table is coated in blood. There's definitely this blood that's sort of spattered about on the table, and what looks like a variety of sort of darkened colors that are spread about on the table as well, from like purples and greens that have dried in and sort of melded with the stone. When you look at the when you're looking around in this sort of area, you notice that there is a sort of a tattered piece of parchment that is sort of laid out on this wooden slab. And when you open it up, what languages do you speak?
Common and Gob.
Common and Gob. Okay. You have no idea what this says. Looks like chicken scratch to you. Just a bunch of lines. But on the top of the on the top of the letter, you see a symbol that looks like this.
Ah.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's a diving bird. It's a diving bird for those people at home.
For the people at home, I think we just entered the Hunger Games.
And yeah, from what you can tell, looks like just a bunch of chicken scratch.
So Hobgobble's walking by himself, right?
Hobgobble?
Hobgoblin.
Connor's walking around by himself.
I was like, what?
Hobgoblin.
Yeah, he took initiative to go into the camp. He started looking around himself, and that's where he found the blade and where he found the gold and this letter.
And I'm just stuffing heads in my fucking bag.
Yep.
Can I? Are other people allowed to go in the camp and look? I want to go look.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still looking not only for loot because I like good things, but I still am trying to figure out if there's anything that like might obviously be contributing to the plague.
Looking around, make another investigation check for me.
That is 19.
Okay, 19. So as you're looking around the camp and sort of making sure every corner is, every corner is checked and meticulously looked at to ensure, your mission is accomplished to a certain degree. Looking around, nothing seems to indicate that, something could be causing a plague.
Okay.
Say. Nothing.
Hey, Connor, did you find anything?
Oh man, this long sword, man, that definitely need to be polished, man. The blacksmith. So.
Anything else, or just a long sword?
Just a long sword. Let me stop. Nah, here's give you 5 gold pieces of silver. Sorry, gold pieces. There we go.
So just gold and a long sword, and
just
nothing
gold
else.
And a long sword.
Literally nothing else.
I don't know. Listen, this
it's
parchment.
So weird. He only just found gold and a longsword.
This part, I don't even know what this is. Do you read this?
I look at it. I speak Common, Druidic, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
You have no idea what this says.
God damn it!
And then I'll take
right,
a look at it too.
How many
What do you
gold
speak?
pieces did you give me just now?
I'm gonna give everybody 5.
All right, cool.
Right.
Everybody.
Team
Nice.
player over there.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Celestial, Common, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
You have no idea what this says either.
Hey, follower.
All right, I'm coming over, and here we go. I think the only thing that I have different is I have Infernal.
Infernal. You can read this.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeehaw!
What's this
Um,
shit say?
With Infernal, you read. Let me just pull this up real quick.
I look at Connor and I go, "This guy can read."
I am a very learned man.
Don't ruin this for me.
What are we doing? Are we just passing it around to see who can understand it?
I'm now just petting the ogre while he eats some deer.
just stroking it, standing next to it.
Good friend. You, friend.
Yep.
All right, so I can read it. So okay,
I
Wait,
start
why-
cooking one of the
why
orcs
can you read
or
it?
the ogre.
I can read Infernal.
So can I?
All right, so me and the dwarf can read Infernal.
Let me
Yes, you
see
can.
that fucking parchment.
So let's see here.
I took Infernal so you can talk shit behind my back.
Okay, let's see. Within there, what the letter states is it is a letter that is signed off by someone named the Mud Swallow.
The mud
Um,
swallow.
And
Gross.
what it is entitling is it is reading the orcs. It is wishing them good fortune in their new residence in Trevalden, and it is informing them that she is looking forward to the deal that they have made.
Ooh, dun, dun, dun.
Well, she gonna be
You said where
sad.
she's at?
So she is looking forward to the deal, and her name is the Mud Swallow.
Correct. Yes.
Was the Mud Swallow? Wasn't that? Didn't we hear something about the Mud Swallow before back in town? Isn't she the wizard?
No.
That's somebody different. Okay.
Make a. Let's see. Say Raytheon, and is anyone else from? I don't think anyone else is from Trevalden.
I'm from whatever those hills are.
History time.
Say
History time.
yeah, Flamboyant too. Yeah, Raytheon and Flamboyant, make history checks for me.
History.
Can I use advantage with my inspiration because I'm feeling so?
Yeah, you
oh,
can
no, I
roll
can't use that
inspiration.
right
You
now.
can use inspiration if you want.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do that. All right,
History
what was
is
that?
a 13 plus 3, 16.
Okay.
18 on my side.
Okay. Both of you can actually recall this name of the Mud Swallow, and that the Mud Swallow is a sort of like a children's story, kind of like a ghost story, where the Mud Swallow is this this hag that lives in this old crooked bog, and it's basically a story. She's a character it's meant to dissuade children from sort of venturing off on their own, because the story kind of depicts that the Mud Swallow will like eat them up if they
She's
venture
the
off.
Kaiser Soze of Trevalden.
Whatever Kaiser Soze is, I guess. We'll say sure, but
Hansel and Gretel.
she has a sort of, she's renowned for as a mythos of just it's a ghost story for children, basically, of Trevalden that is commonly spoken of. It's relatively known across the world, but it's prominently told in Trevalden because of the dense forests that there's still a lot of unknown magical elements to them that are still unsearched.
Do I recognize that symbol in any detail?
Yeah, that symbol is from the the book as well. That is the symbol of the Mud Swallow.
Cool.
That's what you
Guys,
get.
that's the symbol of the mud swallow, which is a children's story that's made to dissuade children from going into the woods.
Yeah, well, we know because we
thought
can
I
read the
smelled
fact that it says
hay.
that it's from the mud swallow.
Yeah, you fucking stupid elf.
Now I know why you hate that elf.
It smells like somebody fade in here.
Can I detect magic on that slab covered in colors?
Yeah, sure. You want to burn your spell slot for that?
I don't know if I want to burn. I forgot that's not a cantrip. Never mind. I thought that was my other cantrip.
Okay.
So that the head orc told me that he was going to give me a sword. Is that the sword that Conor found?
You would probably be led to assume.
Okay. Got my
Is there
damn
anything
sword.
in that? Can I investigate that center structure with the slits that nothing happened with?
The stone thing in the middle.
Tower in the middle.
Yeah, sure. You look up there, and it's a winding tower. Kind of, it looks like another watchtower, but it's meant for more defensive purposes. Where, it's meant where you get up, you shoot an arrow out of the arrow split and take cover. So it's kind of hard to fight back against. But that's pretty much its purposes for defense. Defense of the tower, tower defense and encampment
Cool.
defense.
Allow
So
me.
we've turned this place upside down, basically.
So there's no dungeons or anything. There's no.
No, the stone hut was just what held the ogre down. So
Okay.
the
So
wall
Alright,
camp,
so we found the letter.
the blade, and the gold.
Have we collected pretty much everything?
Yeah.
Can I use
Can I cook
my?
one of the orcs for the ogre?
Can I cook one of the?
If you take one of the orcs and throw them in the burning forest
Yeah.
fire,
Yeah.
Yep.
you can slowly engulf the camp, and after a few minutes, he runs over to it. Ooh.
Would I? Oh, sorry. Would I be able to gather any more information about the mud swallow by using my stone cutting on the central stone spire thing?
Ooh. Why not the stone slab covered in blood? Can you do that?
Stone spire, you wouldn't be able to. That's just
okay.
it was erected for
Just by the orcs. Okay.
Yeah.
Stone cutting the stone slab.
Yeah. How about we'll do the stone slab.
Hey, Flamboyant, don't you know lots about stone?
Remind me, stone cutting one more time. What does it tell you?
When you make an intelligence history check related to the origin of stonework, I'm considered proficient in the history skill and add double your proficiency bonus to the check.
As far as the origin of it, I mean, you would just I'm not even gonna have you roll for it just because it's pretty straightforward. As far as the origin goes, it's the same thing as a tower. Nothing different for that. The stone cutting wouldn't tell you whatever the dried up, whatever is on there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Can I taste it?
oh,
sure. So you dip a finger in whatever is there,
Shit.
and you lick
I
it.
lean to Conor and
somebody
say,
dies.
I hope he gets the fucking plague.
I'm like, you really hate this guy, don't you?
Raytheon, make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes, he's gonna get the plague.
get the plague.
16. Plus 2 is 17, 18.
Ow.
Okay, so you'll take half damage from this.
Yes.
Hey, real quick. So I'm looking at the. So I'm going to the ogre and I'm saying, hey, wait, I got a favor to ask you. I'm looking at Rune. I said, Rune, take your box out real quick.
Oh, all right. I take the box out.
Okay.
And see if the ogre can do something about it, man, with his
Okay.
strength.
So first, Raytheon, you take 6 points of poison damage.
Damn,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah,
You are currently poisoned.
Don't get fucked.
As far as the ogre, you see he's holding up the cooked orc and just looks at it.
What? You said you have box. What is box?
Rune, give him the box.
All right, here's the box. Here, ogre.
What is box?
This is a box. See this little thing in my hands? This is the box. And inside of it is something. Can you open the box either by pulling it apart or smashing it?
He holds the box in his fingers like this.
We're smashing it.
I was gonna say, watch you. Oh, dude.
He goes to put it in his mouth.
Like,
No,
no, wait, no.
Give Rune
No,
the box. Give
No,
Rune the box, please.
Open the box.
Please, give Rune back the box. It's
Open.
okay. Give the box.
Open the
Give back.
box.
No.
No,
Don't
do it.
Give Rune
Don't
the
do it.
box.
You
Don't do
dumb
it.
ogre. Open the
Give
box.
Rune the
Don't do it.
box.
Don't call my friend dumb. Don't do it.
Come on, Fento.
Box. What is
Box.
box?
Box. Open.
Open.
Box. Or give back box.
Box.
Put box in hand.
Maybe use your teeth to open it.
No mouth. Take
He looks
away.
at it.
Open box.
Yes, open box.
Box so open.
Oh my
Thank
god.
you.
Throws it back on the ground.
I pick it up. I put it back in my satchel.
This is the quest of the unopened box, man.
We know we need a wizard. Why would he be able to open it?
Because I was like, you know what? He got the strength of all of us combined. Let's see if he can free,
Box not friend.
Box not.
Box enemy.
Yep.
Bad.
Why is the box bad?
Your friend.
I look at Rune and say, I told you not to give him the box. I told you not to give him the
Hey.
box.
You
Hey,
told me.
Man.
Friend, what's your name, friend? No one's asked.
I think his name is Friend.
Friend.
All right, friend, let's do this.
Friend the ogre.
Friend the ogre.
with Thorim say, yeah, join.
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 All right, have we collected enough heads to get out of here, boys? Let's
I
head
think
back to
so.
town.
All right, let's head back to the Duke.
What is
Wait.
joy?
Do we have enough heads for a rug?
There's 8 heads, I believe, was what you needed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 8,
I
and
think
then
we
the
got more than enough heads.
and then the chief.
So I have the chief's head, and Flamboyant has the 8 other
I have
heads.
29,
I have the
29 other
chief
heads.
War axe.
So as you guys are leaving the encampment that's burning behind you with the forest as well, there's a giant plume takes over the camp.
And we don't look back.
You begin to trudge your way back to Killingam in the middle of the night.
Slow motion classic rock.
And as the gates are opened to you by the couple younger guards that still remain there, holding their post through the middle of the night. So you guys walk in. Everywhere for the most part is currently closed, except for one place.
Except for the tavern, this motherfucker.
Yes! Where's my friend?
Except for the Lindwell. That is currently the only tavern open.
Wait, the 2 guards didn't realize that we have an ogre with us?
Nope. Well, they just didn't question it. They looked at you and went, right.
Man, covered in fucking orc blood, man. They ain't
Right.
gonna say shit.
The ogre
They
is
see
like
all the
looking
heads.
around.
They see-
Yeah. Fucking trail of 29 heads.
Home. Friend. Home.
Home, yeah, this is home.
Hey,
For now,
Yes,
anyway.
join us.
join.
Join.
Join!
Join.
Join. Who join? Me friend.
You friend.
Who is friend?
I'm looking at Thorim like, yo, I can have so much fun right now with this.
I go up to my boy in the tavern and I say, we're back, and look, and I take the head and I plop it on the bar in front of me. And
So
I
you
go,
open
"We're back!"
burst the door open of the tavern. We're back.
Just like that. Kick that son of a bitch open.
And as you walk in, bartender looks over to you. Oh,
Can only imagine the ogre.
Who there? Welcome back.
Fucking hate you.
Quite the bounty you got there.
Yes, indeed. A bounty worth some mead. And if I recall, I still get some free meat. Am I right?
For you, of course, on the house for you.
And maybe some turkey legs too.
Can I get like how much is it for like 3 whole turkeys?
Oh, dude.
Well, I gotta do quick hunt in the morning for some more. For y'all, probably somewhere in the realm. 5 silver.
For 3 whole turkeys?
I should cover all that.
All right.
Bet it
I'll
all.
do that. And I wanna gift it-
Are we splitting the turkeys?
Well, I'm
No,
buying 3 turkeys for the
Ogre.
ogre that helped us.
Oh,
So
okay, you
I
offered it,
promised
okay.
them that I would feed him.
Okay, I got
So I
you.
want to get 3 whole turkeys for him.
Mighty fine.
I guess I'll wait till the morning time.
You do in the morning. I think I got a couple more legs and the back. Could probably fetch them for you for say one silver. That would work for you, Mister. What's your name? He points to you, Connor.
Conor, remember the guy that you fed the turkey legs to, man? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, you remember me?
That's your name.
Yes.
Connor.
Mhm.
Pleasure. 2 if you want more. 2.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
1 silver piece. That'll do it.
1 silver piece. That's tomorrow morning, right?
Ooh, no. Right now.
Right now. Yeah. Okay. I'll take the. Let me get the 2. 1 silver
I
piece.
got some more stuffing for you as well.
Is there anyone else in the chat? Is there anyone else in the tavern?
Nope, just you guys.
Noted.
I'd already ordered, but can I get a turkey and a mead?
Right. Come
Look
around.
at it. Look at the stream.
And he takes he see
1 second.
and he reaches below the bar and he pulls out a pipe. And you see he holds his finger out for a moment, and his finger, a little flame actually ignites on his finger, and he lights the pipe.
Are you a wizard?
That's good stuff right there. No, I'm a bit of an adventurer. I used to be an adventurer back in the day.
Stick an arrow to the knee.
But I'm a bit older now, as you can see. It's harder for me now. As well as this stutter I have.
I take my mess kit and I go sit in the corner away from this fucking stuttering asshole.
So, barkeep, do you have any ability to get us an audience with the Duke tonight?
Gerald's the name.
Jesus Christ, Gerald. Are you okay?
Yeah, I found this pipe here. Helps me with my stutter sometimes. Makes it a little more bearable.
Got it. Audience of the Duke.
Unlike your friend over here, and he points to Flamboyant. Bit of a troublemaker now. Your friend's lucky that I'm very forgiving. Because as I mentioned, I used to be an adventurer back in the day, just like you folk here. Way back when.
And you see, reaches under the bar, and you hear the clanking of metal. And you see, he pulls out this this huge greatsword that he rests on the bar.
This was mine right here. Beautiful piece. What I used when I was a bit of a younger adventurer back in the day. Did great service for me. Your friend should consider herself lucky that she didn't end up on this other side of this blade here.
I look at Connor and I ask, did he hear me the 3 times I asked about the Duke?
I'm not sure if he can even hear.
Way back in the day, good times, adventuring and all.
I pull out my notebook and I draw a crude picture of the Duke and I just show it to him.
Make a performance check for me.
18.
18? It's a pretty decent portrait of the Duke. And he looks at it.
Oh, that's a nice portrait there. Duke Wexford.
Can I ask him why he still keeps a sword?
Jesus, Ricochet!
Ricochet. This is. I want to know why. I want to know why he still keeps the sword. More so, I want to know what do I got to do to get that sword.
He takes the hit of the pipe again. You see, he points to Flamboyant.
See that little one over there? That's why I keep the sword. Because people like that come in and try and get all feisty with me. Sometimes adventuring folk get a little rowdy. I remember back when I was younger, it used to be that way as well. So that's why I hold on to it still. Memento. And if I ever need to defend myself with it, it's the job done.
Friend.
Gerald's the name.
Gerald. Friend. Good. My companion, my compatriot over here is wondering if you know when we'll be able to speak with the Duke.
Oh, I see. Well, probably sometime in the morning. Billy now. Duke is attending to his boy.
What's wrong with his boy?
Ooh, we didn't know.
No.
His boy is got struck with the flux.
So the boy
So-
has the flux.
Gotten quite worse overnight. Boy's risking his own death's door right now. Duke's at about wit's end on this. Not looking too good for his boy.
I look at Shadowsbane and say, I think we need a capacitor.
Is there any rooms for rent for the night?
Oh, for y'all, of course. One gold piece and all of y'all have the room available for you.
Let's do it. Let's take the room.
Mighty fine.
Takes the gold piece. 2 turkey legs come out for you, Connor. And you're stuffing.
Well, what did y'all run out to out in there?
I see you've got. He points to your pile of heads.
Care to explain, you know, all of that out there?
Oh, well, he's our friend.
No,
That's our.
I mean the orc heads.
Oh, what about him?
What happened out there?
Oh, well, we led them out of the camp and we ambushed them.
Ooh, took care of them then.
Yep. Wiped out the whole village.
Ooh, mighty adventurers then. Noted.
And we made this friend.
He's a good friend of ours.
Friend. Join.
Join.
If our friend can't fit upstairs with us, is there any room for him out back in the stable?
Oh, well, I don't have a stable readily available, but I'm sure he'll be fine outside. They've seen weirder things outside of my tavern through my days.
I say, Gerald, let him sleep in here, and I flick him a gold piece.
You see, before it even reaches you, he just pushes it back with a little bit of. You see that he just flicks it, and without even touching it, flicks out right back into your hand.
Oh, no can do, friend. I don't got the space in here for someone that big. but I'm sure he'll be fine outside.
Do you have any rugs we can give him as a blanket?
Rugs.
I'm gonna go sleep outside with friend because I want to build.
I think
a
I'm going to
relationship
sleep
with him.
outside with him too.
I don't hold any rugs in here just because, when someone gets a little too drunk, they tend to throw up, and I wouldn't want that getting all over my carpet or rug. It'd be nasty.
Friend, I head outside with friend and start setting my tent up in his shadow.
You just sit right outside the Lindell well with him.
Yep.
I go upstairs. I ask for one more mead, and I head upstairs to go take my
You
rest.
do your mead, and then outside.
Oh, friend!
Friend.
Oh, friend!
I have what? Do we have the turkeys that we
Join!
purchased?
Join.
Can I just be
Just
holding
yell
one of the
outside,
turkeys?
join!
Who's joined?
That's gonna be inside joke.
Who's join?
That's gonna be inside joke. Join.
So you guys rest up for the night. Gather yourself together. For those of you who sleep outside with friend, you do so. And for those of you who stay inside, you have your warmer and more comfortable rest than normal. And as the new morning rises over Ethos once again, and everyone rested and ready to go with plenty of orc heads and a new companion, that's where we'll pick up next week.
Sweet.
Nice.
I ate too much of my mess kit and I threw up all over the barkeep's rug.
No,
He doesn't have a rug.
rug.
Doesn't have a rug for that particular reason.
Oh, I thought he said he did, but he didn't let people drink too much. Well, I throw up on his floor anyways.
Oh, it's all right there, little one. I'll take care of that for you.
All right. So we're gonna wrap up here. That was
That's a
Hazard
long
D&D episode. Yeah, we're gonna have a long rest. That was Hazard D&D episode 3. Thank you, Zach, for being an awesome DM. Nick Nux, Peter Griffin, Joe, Hazard, hanging
Screaming
out
babies.
in the ether, screaming babies. If anybody wants to catch up on what's going on, you can go to wearehazard.com/D&D. You can catch up on all of our stuff. We do this once a week on Tuesdays or Thursdays, Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending when everybody's available. And we will see you next week. Adios.